Stand by for Titanfall.
AI offline. Pilot mode engaged.
What's up, everyone? I am xshewulfx, the First Lady of Xbox, and your host of tonight's Console Corner. Now, last week we talked about a few different things, and I'm just going to quickly jump right into this. This week we are hitting Gamescom, because of course that is the biggest talk of this week. So with that being said, I just want to shout out a big thank you to everyone who is joining us, and of course we are very excited about all the topics here tonight. We have a lot to discuss, which is why this is so quick. So please make sure you subscribe, you follow, and again, thank you everybody for joining us. So let's jump into our panel of gamers, quick and fast. First, we have a guest who hasn't really been here much, but we do get him every once in a while, and he's definitely part of the Console Corner crew, Windy City Gaming.
I think he's having mic issues.
Roll on.
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
Yep, keep it moving.
All right, well, we got Windy City Gaming, everybody, when he can jump in. And, of course, because someone's going to be very busy over the next 4 months, so we had to get him in here before we couldn't have another chance of it, Rand Althor.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on the Sexiest podcast on Tuesdays. Glad to be here.
Definitely. And, of course, the Queen of Destiny herself, and, of course, every other shooter that she loves to destroy everybody in, Lady Foxfire.
Hey, what's up? Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you like the new logo. She wolfed it. Awesome job. And hello to everybody in the chat.
Awesome. And, of course, we have our very own vlogger who just wants to make his mark on the world. We got Brutal Knight. And he's been waiting for that, I'm sure, for the last 20, 30 minutes.
Man,
that was perfect timing because I just finished my last one, but that's my new intro, I think. What's up, everybody? I'm super stoked to get this show started. We got a lot of shit to talk about, so keep those ear holes open.
Oh.
They're open.
I gotta keep it sexy on Tuesdays now.
Yeah, anyways, it just turned creepy. Okay, so next we have is, of course, someone who's taking the social media by surprise and who is definitely making his impact in doing reviews and everything else, Mr. Bearclaw Gaming.
Again, you guys are always so nice, but yeah.
Well, somebody's got to. You don't talk yourself up, so.
Yeah, I know. But
awesome.
yeah, thanks for coming and hanging out with us on Tuesday, guys. We really appreciate that.
Yo, and stop giving Bear some hate for his freaking reviews, man. It's just his opinion. Relax.
I'm sure that nobody who listens to this podcast is part of that demographic. I think we're all right.
Yeah, everybody here loves you.
That is true. And of course, as everybody knows, we have the one who, puts heads in fish tanks or something like that, and of course is the only one who can give the governor seal of approval himself, GKB.
What's up, everybody? It's the freaking governor. I'm so excited for this show. Let's go talk about some games.
Yeah, energy, bro.
Best intro.
Yo, I'm
best
bringing
intro,
it.
Yo.
I feel it in my bones.
Still waiting for my sticker though.
Now you
Shit,
just brought me down.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
No, it's all.
Yeah.
Been a little
It's all
busy,
good.
but it's okay. All right, guys, so let's jump into this quickly. As everybody knows, at the end of the show, we always ask questions or answer questions, either way. So regardless, please make sure you write down those questions and make sure you throw them out there so we can answer them. All right, so first we're going to jump into the new part of this show, and that is Clip of the Week.
Awesome. So this week's winner is Mr. Darren. Let's go ahead and play this clip. It's friggin' awesome and hilarious. It is from Halo.
Yeah, this is like a
super
zombie.
It's really fucking
I don't
good.
know if you set this up or not,
Perfect
but
timing.
it is hilarious. Let's watch it one more time. Yeah, but Darren McGrath, you are our Clip of the Week winner.
Zombie.
Boom! So good. So good.
So good.
Alright, what do we got next, She-Wolf?
All right, and of course, so in the middle of the whole entire show, be watching that chat because there will be a code dropping who was given by Dylan from Twitter, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. There will be a code that will drop. And of course, as always, we always talk about the games we played this week. But this week, we are doing something a little bit different. We are going to actually be talking about our favorite trailer that has released this week. Because, of course, anyone who's keeping up with Gamescom knows that there has been so many that have just been amazing. So let's go down the line. Wendy, are you back yet?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know if you can hear me.
You good?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, your favorite trailer of the week.
Well, I don't even know where to start. There's been so many.
I know, man.
I mean,
Exactly.
I guess a majority of them. I mean, especially whatever we didn't see at E3. You know, I really liked what I seen from. Kind of shocked from the zombies. I'm not big into zombies, but the Call of Duty zombies got me like, whoa.
Yeah, buddy.
Looks a little bit Dead Rising like. So I mean, I know me and my son, we've been playing a lot of Dying Light, so we may enjoy that. So I could throw it there. I really liked what I saw with damn it, how's it called? I think they showed Mafia as well,
Hell yeah, they did.
and that was pretty. That's got me kind of sold, and I wasn't too sold in the beginning, but that looks pretty freaking good. So I'm gonna give it to that for mine.
Damn.
Awesome. All right, what about you, Bear? What's your favorite?
Ooh, it's tough between Recore's new gameplay trailer, Battlefield 1's trailer, and then the Titanfall tech test trailer. I'm pretty excited for pretty much everything that's coming out this fall. It's looking good.
Heck yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys
I
are
can't
defeating the purpose of it being one favorite
Yeah,
trailer.
Yo, there's too many.
If
There's
I-
too
if I-
many.
Really?
Yeah.
That is okay.
So
That
very-
is
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's
Broad topic.
definitely. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Fox, what about you?
Well, of course, I'm gonna go traditional here with Gears of War. Everything that I've seen from Gears of War is freaking awesome. It is really hard to choose though because there's a lot of other great games like Battlefield and Titanfall, but Gears all day.
There we had it. We got to hear you all day. What about you, GKB?
Yeah, I like the Recore. I thought Battlefield 1 was friggin' amazing and epic as shit. And then the Mafia 3, I think, was awesome too. I love that whole heist thing was amazing. So yeah.
Definitely. What about you, Ran?
Well, I actually haven't really watched many trailers, so I'm gonna have to cheat if that's okay.
I guess
We
so.
encourage cheating here.
Yeah. So okay. I watched the Titanfall 2 reveal with you on Beam, which you should all be following She-Wolf on Beam, right? Because you were
Oh.
doing the live reactions of it.
Very true. Plug.
hmm
I thank everyone for watching.
Plug.
Plug. So, you know, I kind of I like the trailer, but I didn't like it because I want the campaign. The multiplayer has been there, done that. Give me the
saying the same
campaign. So
thing, man.
it can't be that. It can't be Titanfall for me. What I
He
did
just
like,
teased us.
I like the live stream they did of the Destiny Rise of Iron stuff. To be quite honest.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Ooh, but that's
Not gonna
because
lie.
you're all Destiny fanatic with Mr. Michael Barr there.
Well, that has nothing to do with it.
Sure. We believe you.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Destiny's starting to come around. Like Vanilla Destiny is one of the worst games I've had the pleasure of putting 300 hours into, right? But it's gotten better over time, and I don't know. Like it seems like they might have learned from all their mistakes. That new raid seems really interesting, and the raids are by far the best part of Destiny.
Yes.
So I am really excited for September 20th to come along, hop on that and play that. So I'm going to say that one. Although second place probably goes to that 80s trailer for Call of Duty Zombies. That was pretty interesting.
I thought it was fantastic too. Man.
What about you, Brutal? What was your favorite?
I gotta go. As much as I loved all the other ones, I'm gonna pick one, unlike the rest of you motherfuckers did. I gotta go with Brutal. Brutal. I gotta go
You
with.
are Brutal.
Oh, he's gonna do it
I'm going to go
himself.
with myself, you know.
You know, I'm my own biggest fan, but no, I really enjoyed the Mafia trailer. It gave us a good sneak peek into like the kind of deceit and double crossing and like back room kind of thing we're gonna see in Mafia that we're used to, The soundtrack is amazing. I'm sorry for whoever I was talking to on Twitter. They said something about it too, but the soundtrack is great. Every trailer I've seen for Mafia is great, and this trailer was excellent. It gave us a little bit deeper peek into the game from a cinematic standpoint. So
And the story part.
that one sold the game. I was already sold on Mafia, but that one sold it even more for me. So that's my choice.
Awesome. And of course, everybody knows mine. It's always going to be Titanfall 2. Oh my god.
No. Say it ain't
Yeah.
so.
We're so
Horrible.
predictable, She-Wolf. You're like
Well, I didn't
Titanfall, and
know
I'm
you-
like Gears.
I
I
didn't
know.
know you liked
Anyway.
Titanfall.
What?
I didn't know you liked Titanfall. I thought you were more of a Hawken fan or something like that.
Whoa.
Wow.
What's up,
Can
Asthmatic?
can we not insult?
Wow. What's going on, everybody? Oh,
Hey,
sorry I'm
Asma.
late. That Southern California traffic is murder today.
I bet.
All right, Asthmatic, what was your favorite trailer that has come out from Gamescom?
I'm going to throw that one over to Battlefield 1.
Ooh.
Sorry if we already beat that one to death, but we've had a lot of questions about that game in terms of how our horse is going to play into gameplay, because we kind of saw them in
Yeah,
trailers.
yeah,
It was a
man.
bit, we didn't really know what was going on. And the same thing with trains. I'm a huge train fan, and I really wanted to see them as a essential part of multiplayer gameplay. And we see from the Gamescom trailer that both of those horses and trains are both part of the multiplayer experience, which is super promising. And I'm really happy they took that step.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I also have to say, Recore had an amazing trailer as well that released. So anyone who wasn't too sure about that game, go watch that, because trust me, it would definitely put you back on ease about things. So
Cool.
with that being said, we are now going into our first segment of tonight. Over to you, GKB.
All right, everybody. This is my favorite part of the show, especially when She-Wolf's hosting, because I get to take it away from her and do my own thing with the news.
Wow, I feel the love.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain of the show. Wow.
Look at me.
Very Sea of Thieves today, because it saw some amazing stuff today. But all right, so on to our first news topic. Xbox acquires Beam Interactive Streaming Service. I want to go around the panel and discuss what everyone thought of this acquisition. Who wants to go first?
Go
Go ahead, Bear. You did
No,
it.
you go first.
Okay, yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's a real gamble to go up against Twitch when Twitch is the Goliath that it is. But, I mean, in other ways, it's very different, right? It's got, a little bit more interactivity in it. I don't know, it seems interesting, but I think that it's a relatively new app compared to Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't know, it's got a lot of place to grow. I don't know, could be interesting.
I think it was super smart for Microsoft to get on the ground floor with Beam if they are as new as we're perceiving them to be. I fucking love Beam. I got my little thing set up. It's fun watching people play. The interactive aspect
He
is
loves
kind of
trolling people, he
groundbreaking.
means.
No, bro, it's just a little shitty Pokemon game. Who gives a fuck about that? If you're gonna fucking ban me, you can come ban me. Beam.
Wow.
But I still love you though. Don't ban me, please. Beam's awesome. I really enjoy it. I think it was a smart move by Microsoft. I really want to see an integrated Xbox app for it, to make it easier for people that don't have all the hardware that they want to take advantage of your service. I think that's going to be a big addition to their marketability, and for them to be able to not take over, but to be on the same par as Twitch, they definitely need to get that out soon before it falls off the radar. Well, the hype is big on it.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy Beam a lot. She-Wolf had a great stream about with the Titanfall 2 reaction stuff.
Hell yeah.
Shame on you if you didn't get to see it. You're
Yeah,
not
for
part of the
real.
cool kids table, but yeah, it's awesome. I really enjoyed it. How about everybody else?
I thought it was a great pickup. I don't know. Everybody knows me on Twitter. I've been pushing the shit out of Beam lately. I've been streaming a lot on it. I would like to see. I mean, let's be honest. Microsoft didn't get them to, I think, be a direct competitor with Twitch. But I think they can go hand in hand here, where, they all that technology goes to Microsoft. It helps them out with Xbox Live and all that stuff. But Microsoft could also help Beam get bigger into the streaming environment and landscape by maybe having some of like the Halo championships or maybe even the Gears stuff coming out being streamed on Beam and stuff like that. I think that would be really awesome. I have a great time on Beam. I love the low latency interaction. It's like we're having a conversation with people and we don't have that 20 to 30 second lag on Twitch normally and other services.
That's a really good point, GKB.
Yep.
It's really nice knowing that knowing that the streamer you're watching is actually replying to you, solely due to the fact that they actually can reply to you in real time, and it's not like 15 seconds, whatever, later or even longer. That delay with Twitch is kind of terrible. It breaks up the.
But Beam has even more than just that. I actually want to touch on a little bit of the things that Beam actually has. Like, for instance, the customization. Now, I do Twitch and I've done Beam. I've actually played around with both, and Beam has so much more customization than Twitch does when it comes to, your biography and stuff. When you're in Twitch, you're limited to what you can put into each of your little categories and where they're placed. But in Beam, you can actually reorganize where you want things to go and how you want it to look. They also allow you to have teams. Now, I love this feature. We just got it, and we actually created one called the console crew. And it's where people can go. You advertise this one link, and they can watch all their favorite streamers in one. So, for instance, Ran, for you, if you have, like, say, you, Maka, Inferno, who say South, like, everyone who's on the TXR crew, you guys could actually have, like, a TXR team. And
like
you
a
guys,
stream team?
Yeah. And then you would, like...
That's such a good name.
So you can actually just... Well, someone actually has that already. But,
God damn it.
But you click on this one link, and you actually see everyone who's online, who's not online. You can click on everyone. You can go to their channels if you choose to. You can follow them. You can do everything just from this one page where everybody's in one section. So people don't have to go crazy trying to find everybody, which I thought was an awesome...
To be fair, Twitch has that.
But do you have to be partnered?
Is that the partner? No. You don't have to be partnered. So if you ever go to Twitch and for instance, let me bring up my Twitch page. It'll be like Randall Thor 19, and then it's like it'll say what you're streaming, like whatever game you're streaming, right? Do you guys know who Brown Man is on Twitch?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you ever go to Brown Man's thing, it's let me see if I can find it. It'll be like Brown Man
streaming on blank.
Yeah, but he's like Brown Man playing the Collective, and he's part of a stream team of a group of other streamers that are in this group. All right, he's streaming right now, so let me just bring this up real fast. Yeah, so it says Brown Man playing God of War 3 on the Collective, and the Collective is a stream group, where then you would click on the Collective, and it's everybody in that stream group. And then you can follow them and all the stuff there. I mean,
you can see all that.
It's the same. It's like the same concept.
But I definitely.
I think it's a little bit more easier to find on Beam though.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I've actually never seen like this. You go to browse and you actually see like teams. You go streamers and it's very straightforward. Beam is very straightforward. And I guess so for anybody, Twitch has the team thing too. I didn't know that because I never found it. So
yeah, and they don't really advertise it. Not that many people talk about it either. So it's not like a main feature of theirs.
Yeah, but I definitely like the customization of the profile and everything else like that, and even hosting someone else's channel is so much easier as well.
Yeah, I think the fact that you didn't know that off the bat, xshewulf, is like that proves the point of why Beam is a valuable service. Is that it's like you do some of the same things that Twitch does, but you do it in a user-friendly way. Where for me, like I'd never watched anything on Beam. I'd never used Beam until 2 days ago. And yesterday I was able to just set up my profile and I could already see stuff. I was able to hop right into GKB's stream yesterday, and like the way they give you the points and stuff for watching people's streams, and you get the little tokens for the interactive streams. It's it does what Twitch does, but it makes it more user friendly, but then they're also taking it to the next level. And it's just the ease of access, how you can just hop in and get involved, and that they have the interactivity, which was something that, you know, kind of came as an afterthought to some Twitch streamers. To have that interactivity built directly into the service from the start is awesome. And it's just, they're one step ahead. And I think Microsoft made a great play by throwing the money down for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about this last night, and I think the acquisition. I want to say I agree with GKB. I don't think they bought it as an like, hey, this is our Twitch competitor, right? I think they bought it because they see something in the team there. I mean, the CEO of Beam is an 18-year-old genius. It literally started, you know, the company 7 months ago. They won that TechCrunch thing. He's 18 years old, and he's now working for Microsoft and had his company bought by Microsoft. What were y'all doing at 18? I don't even remember what I was doing at 18. I certainly wasn't building a company and having Microsoft buy it, you know?
Sure.
I don't
couldn't buy beer yet. Yeah.
So I think what they're interested in, I think, is the tech behind the low latency stuff.
Of course, yeah.
I think that's the big play here, as well as like having their own streaming service. Because I mean, let's be honest, like it's gotten bigger. Twitch is absolutely huge. Amazon is backing Twitch. I saw today that Twitch bought Curse. I don't even know what Curse does, but they do.
Really?
Curse client and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
And then of
using
course,
mod support.
Yeah, it's like add-ons and all that kind of stuff for World of Warcraft and everything, right? Like it does like specialty things.
Yeah, WoW's like their big game, but it's like if there are little plugins and things that you want for a game, like you can download it and then like go into the file and manually install it. But Curse is a client that lets you just say, "Oh, give me this," and it automatically installs it into your game with one click.
So, you know, you got YouTube Gaming backed by Google, of course, and YouTube is the biggest website on the planet. So there's an area where it potentially, I mean, we've already seen growth with Twitch itself when it was just in TV.
Mm-hmm.
So the growth is there, the potential's there. Esports is getting bigger every year. So Microsoft probably does want a part of that pie. And I think it goes with like Phil's whole thing as like the Xbox is about options, like how you buy your games, where you play your games. It's just another option. Like if you want to stream on Beam and interact with your viewers in a way that maybe you can't interact with them on the other platforms, you can. Yeah, you may not have a big of an audience to play with, but that's fine. Or, you know, Twitch is still there. You can still stream to Twitch. They're still going to offer that. I mean, we'll know. I mean, if they decide to take away Twitch streaming, well, then you know like this is
They're competitive. Like
they're not. But it's. I think, plus, you know, the guy who was the CEO, he now works in the engineering team. So he's directly whatever they're building, whether they use the technology or whatever they're doing directly to Xbox Live. Could they somehow do something with this with Arena potentially in the future?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, possibly. I mean, who knows? I mean, they have a lot of smart
Sky's the
people.
limit, you know.
That's gonna be a bold move if Microsoft decides to just nix Twitch to go with. Or is that what you're saying, or just?
I don't think it'll be like. I don't think it'll be nixed.
Apps go.
I don't think it'll be nixed. I think, you know, deals, you know, come and go all the time. So, you know, it could be a fail-safe too. Like if, you know, Twitch and them separate, you know, at one point or whatever, you know, they have something to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like what I meant by that was like if Microsoft thought Beam was going to be their Twitch competitor, then they would get rid of Twitch streaming on the console itself.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you meant. Maybe nixing it entirely is the wrong thing to say.
I mean, Twitch is a partner with Xbox, so I don't think, you know,
right.
they would want to damage their relationship. I mean, the one thing I am still kind of surprised about, to be honest with you, is that there's no streaming to YouTube Gaming from the console like there is on PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean,
well, YouTube hates.
I mean, Twitch is so deep seated into like the gaming culture. Like you think about streaming, you think about Twitch. They're synonymous. But I mean, if the first impressions that we're all getting from Beam is any sign of what Beam has to offer in the future once they get their feet under them with the backing of Microsoft now, I think Beam has the potential to really grow in the industry. To the point, don't quote me on this a year from now, but I think that Beam has the potential to compete with Twitch on that level once they get their feet planted and they can really start marketing themselves out to other organizations aside from Microsoft.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, but it's going to take like Microsoft putting some of those huge events and stuff on Beam to really promote it and get it up there, though. So we
Yeah,
have to
but
see
like,
that.
why not though? I mean,
It's true. Like, why not? But
Facebook took over. Facebook took over MySpace, and he was a young college kid when Mark Zuckerberg
yeah,
started.
I agree that. But like, the why not would be because they're Twitch partners. Like, they're partners with Twitch. So
Plus, Microsoft's all about trying to get maximum exposure for everything they do. If you like, I get what you're saying. Like, well, do the press conference entirely on Beam, like E3 2018 or 17, right? Like, stream it strictly on Beam. Well, then you run a risk of nobody really watching it, and like none of the outlets covering it, even though they would. You know, it's the same thing. Like, shout out to Mooch who's watching. When he gets upset when they send Boogie something to review, like the console, right? Because it's not like, because what they're trying to do, it's not about Boogie himself. It's about the 3 million subscribers Boogie has. It's about trying to get the maximum return on your investment. Yeah, and Microsoft wants to reach the biggest audience, and the biggest audience would be, I'm sure they're multicast. I'm sure it'll be on Twitch and on Beam, and maybe they'll have, the Xbox people talking in Beam. So if you wanted to go chat with Phil, or you wanted to chat with Mike and Major Nelson, you could only do it there, type stuff. Or maybe you can even vote like instantly. I'm sure they could make something like that.
I like that. I like that idea.
Well, Mike Ibarra streams on there.
Yeah,
he has been streaming on there.
Obviously, it's a little bit different, but we've seen Microsoft kind of try to dip their toes into like interactive streaming stuff before. E3 and the Video Game Awards last year did a lot of interactivity, like with like just voting, and like obviously that's not the same degree that Beam does it, but it's clearly something that they've been looking at for a while, right? So it's how can they take what Beam is now and change it enough where people can see it as something in addition to Twitch instead of trying to compete with something. Like, honestly, it's like what you were saying. Twitch is a Goliath now that's associated, like streaming and Twitch are synonymous. It's going to be hard to change that, I think.
Right.
I heard a story. I don't know if this is true because I haven't asked him, but I heard somebody told me that Mike Ybarra met Matt, who's the CEO of Beam, playing Pokemon Go in the park. That's how they met.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, that'd be kind of a crazy story if it was true.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sure Mooch is happy to hear that.
I like that. I was just about to say the same shit, Wendy. That's funny.
All right, let's go ahead and move on, guys. I don't want to bore everybody with all this streaming talk. So the next topic I want to talk about is near and dear to my heart. Everybody knows I talk about this damn game on every freaking podcast I go on, and that is the rumor that there is going to be a Splinter Cell, possibly rumor. And Michael Ironside is doing the voice of Sam Fisher. What does everyone think of the rumor? This is all speculation, guys.
I was happy because I knew you would be happy.
I know, right?
Dude, I was freaking out.
The minute I seen Jamie Moran's tweet, I was like, "Oh shit,
Somebody
fucking
told me.
baby!"
Yeah, I know.
He's gonna flip his shit.
I had
Yeah,
so many tweets.
He ran in her daughter's room, grabbed her like pom poms, and started like jumping up and down.
Whoa!
Little schoolgirl. And
Doing
Where's the
backflips.
video?
and-
Upload that video.
I'll give you $100 out of all of my paychecks till the end of the year if you send me a video of that.
Yes,
No.
please. That would be
Get a
awesome.
video.
Oh
You
my
gotta
gosh.
do it live stream right now.
Yep.
Oh,
Get that
boy.
on Beam.
Going to Beam after the show.
So what I think I find most exciting about this, like, rumor is that if this is real, then this game is in the very early stages of development, which tells me that it's probably something we're going to see dropping on Scorpio.
Yeah.
So like, let's just if you add that to the
2020.
pile of Splinter Cell plus Michael Ironside, the proper Sam Fisher plus Scorpio, it's like, let's do this. All of the yes.
Wow, I'm completely on board if it's true, but
Yeah.
if fucking giant caps lock all the way across, if it's true.
Yeah.
GKB, what do we always say, brother? I just want to keep your head level now.
Get it.
You know, I'm right
Keep
here.
those expectations in check, but I'm totally
Keep
in
them in
the I'm in the sky right now,
He's at
bro.
the window already.
Yeah,
He's gone.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
Mary
it's-
Poppins
I'm on that
with
train,
your fucking umbrella just
going
flying
down
away,
the road,
huh?
bro.
And that's it. It's not just us. Like, it's not like GKB isn't like the only person out there who's excited for a new Splinter Cell. Like,
Yeah.
the Splinter Cell community isn't one that's overly vocal in terms of like every morning we're on Twitter like, give me a new game.
They're all stealth fans. That's
Yeah,
why.
exactly. We're all super sleuth in the shadows, but the Splinter Cell fan base is passionate, it is strong, and is huge. And a new game in that franchise is definitely something that would be well received,
Yeah.
and something that would be awesome to see on the Xbox One at the least, and hopefully on the Scorpio.
Heck yeah.
Very, very true. And also give us Blacklist backwards compatible, please.
Dude, I just
Blacklist
imagine
is
like
amazing.
imagine like a stealth game in the shadows on HDR. Oh,
It'll just all
Now
be
he's
black.
gone.
All the
Now
black.
he's gone.
Black. So it'll just all be a fucking shadow the entire game.
is your TV off? Oh, sorry, I couldn't tell.
I see these 3 green lights. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I got to keep my expectations in check. It's kind of hard for me with
No,
Splinter Cell.
don't keep them in check. Don't keep them,
Let
let
'em go
your
crazy.
dreams run wild, GK. Like me last night. My dreams, I was like, I cannot wait for this.
Same
I
here,
brought it
man.
up. And you know what? Like, who was the downer last night?
Maka.
People
That
say
guy.
I'm the downer, and yet he was the one who was like, shut up about this. I don't want to hear anything. It's not coming out for 3 years. It's
I
like,
get
listen,
his point, though.
true.
Yeah.
But like, let me dream. Let me have
Yeah,
my
I know.
fantasy of Splinter Cell. And Blacklist was amazing, right?
Yep.
But it was missing one thing. Michael,
Ironside.
can I swear on this podcast?
Hell yes.
Michael
Really,
fucking
bro?
Ironside. Like, I can't imagine that game was already great. Like, Blacklist played
But him voicing him.
superbly, right? But
Jeez.
it was just
Can you
missing his voice.
Swear in this chat? We did intros
Some-
just of
there
swearing.
was a
Red,
podcast
I'm starting
that
to question if you've ever listened to us.
I do, but I just
At least since I've been on here.
I listened last week, but I just wanted to make sure because I did a podcast not that long ago where swearing was forbidden.
Forbidden.
So-
Not
Normo.
I
forbidden.
just wanted to make sure, like I know, Xbox Nation Crossfire, I'll swear up a storm even though I'm in a car, but I just wanted to make sure because I haven't been on Console Corner in a bit. I don't know if the rules have changed.
Nope.
You know, a lot of people don't find swearing very sexy, and this is the sexiest podcast on Tuesdays, so
Depends how
There's
you
varying
say
definitions of sex.
it. It can
Yeah.
be very sexy if you say it in a naughty way.
Whoa.
okay, yeah, all right.
Hey,
Hey, now.
you know, I gotta get it in there. Anyways.
Welcome to the Console
But,
Corner
like-
Late Night Edition.
Dude, the thing is like I just
Whoa.
I hope Ubisoft does it right. Like I want a Splinter Cell that is single player missions from one location to the next. I don't want it in some pseudo open world
World, yep.
like
Yeah,
Ghost
yeah.
Recon or Watch Dogs. Like and that's not saying Ghost Recon is bad because I played it at E3 and Ghost Recon is great. But like I don't know if Splinter Cell fits into the whole Ubisoft formula because I mean the Ubisoft formula is pretty apparent by now. They do the same thing for all their games. I just want Splinter Cell to come back. GK, when we talked about like what would be the best way for Microsoft to end the conference, didn't me and you agree that they should have the ding?
Oh yeah, the lights go out. It's all
The
dark.
light, yeah.
and the lights. Yeah, man, for sure.
And they end the show with Splinter Cell.
oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh God.
Oh man, that would have been so cool.
That would have been just.
Icing on the cake.
I can feel it now. Like if GKB saw that at E3, like the fucking world would end. Like North Korea would like start nuking everybody.
You would be skating to work.
Skating. I'd be
because
Flash going across this
hell
whole
would've
fucking
froze
continent.
over. Hell would have froze over.
Oh my
He gets
God.
up out of like he's at E3 and he's like, I'm going to GameStop. I'm getting in line.
Dude, I would have
Look at
got
the rest of
the
off
show.
my desk and fucking ran all the way to E3 in like 3 seconds flat, bro. I would have been there.
I think, yeah,
Fucking Flash.
fucking chitty chitty bang banged your way all the way across the fucking map.
I would have, for sure. Awesome. So let's go ahead and go on to the next topic because I can't talk about Splinter Cell. I'll just do it all night.
Splinter podcast.
So Battlefield 1 beta is announced for August 31st, and a new trailer dropped yesterday, and we kind of like hinted towards that in the trailer thing we were talking about earlier. Showing a lot of gameplay and gameplay mechanics. What did everyone think of the info and the new stuff?
I'm waiting for somebody to make a hype train gif with that fucking train running that guy over. Like,
I'll get on it. That's
dude,
my
that-
Thursday
that-
night.
Asthmatic, you mentioned the train, man. Like, I'm wondering, like, is that train going to be like a map based, like a map specific, like weapon that you can play, or do you think it's going to be like something that you can? I
So
mean, let's be honest. Like trains were everywhere back in, like, I mean, a
yeah.
lot of like the main heads in that war were placed around train tracks.
Yeah. So I've played when I got to play Battlefield 1 at Comic-Con, the way that the Zeppelins worked was like you built up a certain, you had to like do so well as a team, like you would build up the points and it's like, all right, you're doing great, like now you can call in this airship and then your people could spawn in it and use the guns and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's going to be something like that.
Okay.
It's either going to have to be a map in which the train tracks run through it, and then when a team goes on a rampage, then they get the ability to say, okay, call in the train, and then they can all spawn in it. Because we see the train has like mounted gunner positions, and so it'll just like cruise through the map, and you're taking guys out on the tracks, and your team's in the guns, like
That's
you
cool.
just destroying. Because it's either going to have to be that system or a map, which is totally plausible in Battlefield for a map to be big enough where the train tracks run a circuit, throughout the entire map, and then the train's always there, and you just kind of have to like get on it somehow. How sweet would that be if you're like on horses and you have to like ride up next to the train and like hijack it from the enemy? Oh, it'll be sweet.
So it's like a team kill streak basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that big blimp that flies over, each team can get that. That's not like just for the Nazis or anything like that.
I actually thought that the behemoths come in when one team is close to losing, and it's kind of like a last-ditch effort to turn the tide.
Because I always wondered about that, like how they were doing. What did each team have their own set, like maybe map kill streak and stuff like that.
Well, I
From
was
what I
watching the. Sorry, go ahead, Fox.
No, I was gonna say basically probably what you were gonna say, which is we were watching the gameplay earlier, and
Right.
then they showed it, and it kind of showed up like close to midway, and they gave it to a specific team, so it's randomized, and then that team could put some people in there, like 6 or 4 people in there, and they could shoot and stuff like that. I think you could take it from them though if they don't use it properly.
One guy killed everybody who was like everybody on the enemy team who was in the train. Like one, so it's not too overpowered if like one dude can kill everybody on board
Right.
if they're incompetent. I don't know. It seems like an interesting mechanic. I'm interested to play the beta at the end of the month, and obviously, like any beta, it's good to be able to give them some feedback. So if it's janky in August, hopefully it's not janky in October when it comes out.
Well, that's the thing I was gonna say is like thank God they're doing a beta test, to test those servers out and stuff. We see this a lot now, and I'm really thankful that a lot of games are doing this because we don't want any like games coming out and just completely broken. Nobody can play them. It just sucks for everyone. So I'm really happy they're doing that.
This kind of reminds me of when they had Battlefield 4 beta on the 360, but I don't remember if they had it on the 1, because I know it was way more broken on the 1 than the 360, because I actually played it, Battlefield 4 on the 360, and it was okay. It had some glitches here and there, but yeah, that's where the beta was that I know for sure. So it's good that they have another beta now for the newer gen.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, for a game like Battlefield, you need betas. Like when they have a Call of Duty beta, it's like, okay, come on, we already know what the fuck it is. It's the game. The beta ran just like the goddamn final product. Besides balance changes, other than that, they didn't need to make a beta,
Yeah.
But Battlefield, you need that beta, and for Battlefield 1, shit, I can't wait. What is it, the 31st?
Yep.
Yeah.
31st.
Yeah.
Oh, cannot wait.
And it's I feel like it's going to be a pretty smooth beta. Like I'm sure we've all played betas in the past that have felt more like alphas, where it's really janky and it's still like almost like bare bones.
Right.
But from like I've had one hands-on opportunity with it, and it already feels like beta or even further. Like it's beautiful. It plays smooth. It's already a game that's running great. So to get that on console, I feel like it's probably mostly a back end like server thing. Like okay, like it runs great. It looks good. We've got it optimized. Now let's get 100,000 people playing it and see what happens type thing. But
Yeah, and even though like the beta or Battlefield 4 had its issues on the 1, I kind of let it slide because of the mass of the game. I mean, look how
Yeah,
big
had
the
way
maps
more
are.
people.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
new
I mean,
console, first time doing
Yeah.
64 player.
And one map,
contest.
one map in Battlefield's equivalent to most fucking games that have 30 maps. You know what I mean, combined.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
Yeah.
let certain things slide, but I mean, to me, the game is with the little issues, floating fucking trees and dudes and shit in Battlefield on the 1. You let that shit slide, laugh at it, and go shoot some people in the face.
Yeah, from what I saw the gameplay earlier, it looks really good. I know there was like little glitches here and there, but overall the gameplay, it did what it was supposed to do. And it was actually a really good battle from what I saw earlier from the two teams that were playing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Battlefield's Battlefield, the core will still be there, but this whole World War I thing, that shit's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, and Call of Duty coming out in those couple of weeks there. It's going to be nice to see where all these players gravitate
Yeah,
to.
especially the different flavors.
Yeah, that's what I like. You got 3 totally different first-person shooters. You know?
Well, technically 4.
Yeah,
because you forgot Modern Warfare.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Most people are excited for Call of Duty, not for Infinite Warfare, but for Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's going to play a lot differently than Infinite Warfare. So you're going to have 4 separate first-person shooters. You can throw Gears in there because it's third person, but But Battlefield 1, I like that they went back. I like to where it's World War 1.
Yeah.
We haven't had a World War II game in a long time, so the fact that they went back to 1 is intriguing. Hopefully they've learned from their mistakes with Battlefield 4 and the launch and everything like that, because that game was a clusterfuck when it first came out.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that do you guys agree that the World War I setting just seems so much just nastier and grittier than like these modern shooters?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
very personal.
It seems more brutal.
Personal is the way. Personal is the perfect word. I mean, it's like hands-on. You have to shovel. You can beat a motherfucker down with and like the horse thing. Having the horses I was really skeptical, and I think a lot of other people were skeptical about how viable riding a horse through like a warfield like a battlefield actually will be. But ICXM put out an article. Shout out to ICXM; they always do really good work. They put out an article kind of describing and kind of going into more depth about like the utility of the horses and how. The horses have like a higher HP than the players, and they actually have like their own kind of AI to them. One thing they said they really wanted to focus on was trying to make it feel like you're riding a horse rather than you're picking up a horse as another vehicle.
Yeah.
So like the horse will actually like pull away. Like if you're trying to like the example they used was you could drive a car off of a cliff and it's not going to stop you and you'll kill yourself. But the horse will actually stop and like try to pull itself away and stop itself from like driving off of a cliff.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think that's going to be a really cool addition to the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, I agree. We gotta move on, guys. Sorry, we're taking a lot of time.
GKB runs a tight ship.
Yeah,
I could talk about this more all day.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we gotta get moving.
All right,
we got one more news article, and then we're gonna get into the regular topics for the show. So, next up is kind of a disappointing thing because I was actually kind of looking forward to this game, and Final Fantasy 15's been delayed till November 29th. What does everyone think about the delay?
Where's that sound? Wah, wah,
wah.
I haven't been as excited for Final Fantasy games since Final Fantasy 7 was my favorite. Final Fantasy 10 was really, really good, and that's kind of where I fell off. I put a little bit of.
I had to install it. I
thought Crab was in here for a second.
I love it.
Nah, he showed me how to use them. Worst mistake of his life.
Yep.
This game has me more excited about Final Fantasy than I've been in a long time. And I can't really tell you exactly why, aside from the game's gorgeous, and I just have a good feeling about it. I can't explain it really, but
what else do you need?
I'm like devastated. Like I've been crying into my pillow. I've had to wash my pillowcases because they're stained with tears.
Is it a full body pillow?
No, it's a full body fucking cloud pillow that I just lay on it. That's my senpai. But
oh shit.
Are you sure they're never mind. Anyway.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in it. Like I love like Final Fantasy 7 as like one of my favorite Final Fantasies of all time, and I really haven't touched them after that because I just didn't like where they were going and whatnot. But this one has me interested again, so I was kind of disappointed that it's being delayed. But at the same time, I'm happy they're taking the time to fix up the game, make it better for us. So
Well, so let me ask like a question because maybe I was just a dummy and I didn't understand this at E3. But for anyone who saw the Xbox press conference at E3 when the guy playing Final Fantasy wasn't really nailing it, when I was watching that, I thought
I
that it
didn't
was
think he
like
was playing it.
I thought it was the guy playing wasn't like he wasn't able to do it, like he just wasn't playing the game properly. He kept screwing it up. But then I also heard some other people saying that like it was like he was doing it right, but the game wasn't working. Like it was an issue with the software.
I'll give you some insider infos. It was a video. Nobody was playing shit.
Yeah, it didn't look like anybody was playing it.
So the person playing in the video didn't know what they were doing.
Well, but then why did they?
I asked the
Fingers
question
crossed.
because I went up to the person. I'm like, "What was up with the Final Fantasy trailer?" And he just like gave me this dirty look, like, "I know, right?" I'm like, "Did he not do it properly in rehearsals?" He's like, the whole thing's a video. They recorded that months ago."
Why did they present that on
And
purpose?
so I said to him, I'm like, "So that's what they wanted to show off?" And he said, "Yeah."
Interesting.
I was like, "Okay."
I don't know,
Yeah,
that's
because
that's
they
a very
wanted to
interesting
do
PR
well, probably because they
standpoint.
wanted to do the bigger one. Like they did the focus more on Sony's when they did the VR caption in their trailer. So
Yeah, but everyone thought that, like, everybody thought that one was terrible too. Like,
it was, but I'm just saying that kind of took more effort to change around than what the standard one was.
I don't.
I'm a little disappointed that it's delayed, to be honest with you, because I thought at least I might be able to get some playtime with
Yeah.
it before
And now you probably
like
won't even
years
touch it
hit.
like next year, right?
Now it's like November 29th. It's
Yeah.
like after everything else. So for me, it's kind of like, am I even gonna get around to it? Because like the next week is South Park, the
Yep.
Fractured Butthole, and Dead Rising
Yeah.
4, and I'd rather
Wait,
play
what?
those two games.
Yeah, this is gonna great end of the year.
Yeah.
I can't let it fall off my map, man. Like I have
I was
have too much.
excited for it because it reminds me. I can't get Kingdom Hearts 3 yet because they want to keep friggin' teasing the shit out of that one. So at least this has some similarity to it. So I was actually kind of excited for it.
Yeah, and rumors are saying like the people who played it said the game needs the delay, and it probably needs to be delayed till next year because it's that rough
Interesting.
still. So, I mean, if I were them, I'd probably would just delay it to next year, get it out of that. I mean, it is funny they had that event earlier in the year where they, if you guys remember, they like had the slot machine with the release date, and it actually landed on November 29th, right? And then it flipped back up to September, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" And now it's just kind of funny that they actually had to go back to November.
That's where we're stuck.
Cool. All right, so if everybody's done talking about Final Fantasy, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Any last
I
words?
definitely think so.
All right.
All right, so then let's move on. So starting off this week's show, much has been talked about, and of course this has been a really exciting day to start off this week. And of course a big event that, I'm sure everyone would love to go to, but of course it's overseas, so we can't get there. However, I'm sure there's a lot who were disappointed because of the fact there was no actual conferences, but of course there was a lot of great streams going on today. So let's get into the Gamescom and their streams and, their trailers and everything that's released just today, which has been, I'm sure, everybody just thrilled and excited for. Our first topic, of course, is going to be Gears of War 4 and their trailer and the new reveal of their stuff. So we're going to start off with
4K.
Fox.
Oh my god, it's freaking awesome! No, I saw the freaking gameplay and stuff, and you can see when the juvies basically evolve into freaking
Look at that.
giant
Fox has
monsters.
the lingo down already.
Oh, okay, my bad. I mean, I don't know. Don't put me on the spot. But
that
the
was
game
awesome.
freaking awesome, and you can see how they evolve and what happens, and we get to see more gameplay, and then the gameplay actually links up to the first clip that we saw. What was it, last
Yes.
E3 or the E3 before that? So that was freaking
Were you
awesome.
thinking, Fox, that the E3 stuff that they showed at first, I thought that was just like a slice that wasn't going to be in the game, and then I saw it on the 4K stuff, and I was
Yes,
like,
exactly.
yes.
Yep, same here. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, that's just like a little tech demo thing. They're not probably gonna put that in the game, and then they actually linked up, and I was like, that was freaking awesome. So
That's
I'm happy with everything that I've seen about the game so far, whether it be, the new bad guys, the weapons, and everything, Marcus, all that stuff.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited for it. And my fucking tomatoes.
My tomatoes.
Yeah, that
man,
was freaking cool.
I, every time I see Gears, I actually got to stop looking at Gears because I want to save some for when
I
it
think, but
releases.
tell you the truth, I think they're not gonna show us anymore. Like, I think this is it. I don't know. I'm just saying that's a lot. We've seen so much.
I know that's
so
what I'm
far.
saying. It's like we've just seen so much already, and I'm just like, I don't want to see any more. But the footage looked amazing, especially when you can watch it in the higher resolutions. Like it was phenomenal. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I like those little things that were like hanging down. They were shooting them, and there was like dropping the pods and stuff. I thought they were gooey as shit, and I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, at first I'm like gross, but it's you taking cover, so it's like it's a good thing. But there could actually be those little what's it called? Those little guys could be in there, and they could come out and bite your face and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Did anybody else like feel like when JD and them are like running around? Their like interactions with each other just didn't feel the same as like Dom and all the other like Baird and Coltrane and all that. I think it almost felt like they were just, I don't know, pushing too hard.
Do you think it's partially though because like we are so invested in those other characters that we need time to let their relationship develop with us like before we can like really I mean, you got to sell a character. You got to sell character development. Like character development's such a big part, especially in like an epic like saga like Gears is. I I guarantee by the end of the game you're like, yeah, they're a good team. I think
that's actually what. Yeah, see, that's what I completely agree with Brutal. Like, they're new characters, so of course you feel that. It's just not the same because you're so tied up into these other characters. You know their story. You know what they've been through. Heck, you played them and went through this. But these three characters, they're new. And it's like, well, what's their story? Why are they tied together? Why are they doing this? And, what happened to my favorite characters? So I think, it's just one of those things you have to play through to kind of bond, I guess, with these characters, and I think that's kind of a big thing in a lot of games like this is, they're having you bond to new characters, and it's just something everybody's going to have to kind of, either you're going to like them or you're just going to hate them, and it's just kind of how it's going to be.
Yeah, and to add to that, like, the friendship that Marcus and Dom had, it was already established, they were already close, and on top of that, everything that was surrounding them, they were in war and stuff like that, so they were even closer compared to these new guys that, everything is fine, everything is well, and now they're being attacked, so it's kind of like a different kind of friendship.
Well, and I also think, a lot of you guys have already said this, but I think a lot of it has to do with, like, when we think of Marcus and the whole rest of Delta Squad, you're thinking of the development you had through games 1 through 3. Whereas, like, but if you actually just look at like the character development that's done in Gears 1, it's pretty minute. A lot of the characters are kind of tropes, right? You've got the loud, you've got the loud former football player. You've got the sassy mechanic. Like, they're all tropes. Like, they're not really interesting characters. They all are, cardboard cutouts. And I think that, I think the character writing is definitely better. Although we don't have the same bond to the characters yet.
What about you, Asthmatic?
I think that's just something that we're going to have to get used to because, like, people kind of like our age group, the guys who started off with, like, I'll throw Splinter Cell in there alongside, like, your Halo and your Gears of War, like, these great story-driven franchises that obviously hinge on these main characters. Like, we're just going to have to live with the fact that eventually these stories are either going to have to focus to new characters or they're going to have to end. And for me, I would say even though, like, I'm a huge Halo guy, even though I'm not nearly as much of a Agent Locke fan as I am a Master Chief fan, I'm sure there's a whole new generation of gamers out there who Master Chief is this old guy that they're like, oh, he's the guy from the beginning and whatever, but then with new characters, it's new people that they can bond with, and new people have this avenue to fall in love with the franchise.
Well, that's just like when Locke was brought into the whole mix. Everyone was like, well, why is Buck with him? Why is all this happening? Why are we focused on this guy? There was people for him and there was people against him. Yeah. And it's always about, when we have to bring new characters in from the original characters.
Big shout out to the 81 people watching us right now. You guys are freaking awesome.
What's up, everybody?
Definitely. All right, so before we move on, what about you, Rand? Do you have anything you'd like to add into this topic for Gears of War 4?
Yeah, robots. What the F?
I love the robots, bro.
That's awesome.
It's like, okay, the first time I saw the IGN video where they dropped the robots, I was like, really? We're fighting robots in Gears of War? That just seems so out of place. I know, Jack has been a part of the universe for a while,
Yeah, but
I
not
never,
the enemy. Yeah.
yeah, I never thought we'd be in a situation where when we fighting robots, and maybe it's a good thing because one of the things kind of Gears has kind of grown stale on is lack of enemy variation, right? So I'm assuming the swarm will act differently than the robots. So at least maybe you got to do
definitely.
different tactics than the other ones. I know in the there was the lambent and the regular locust, but they were pretty
Still
much
locust.
similar. So I think the campaign looks cool. I get the whole like I'm not as attached or it seems forced with JD and like the other people, whereas like Coltrane and stuff all felt like very natural. I mean, I don't know. We've seen like a snippet of 10 minutes of gameplay maybe at most.
Yeah, and all of it's been like combat and stuff, not really like them interacting.
Yeah. So
I do like the bickering between him and Marcus, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, do you guys think? I have a question for you guys. That at some point during this game, that we are going to either control Marcus or like in a way where he sacrifices himself to
Yeah.
I could see
like because
it.
I just have this
I've
feeling.
been thinking that Marcus is gonna die in this game since
Oh
I
shit!
since
You
I
guys,
saw,
Yeah, so do I.
since I saw that he was like revealed.
I don't
Like,
think
hurts
he's
me
gonna
too.
die.
I think he needs to like.
I think he will because he's passing off the torch to his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this transition period in this.
It feels like the time.
Kill him?
Oh, my-
Like, can't they just like promote him like up in the whole ranks of
No,
everything?
because
and
it's-
just take him
No, because
down?
they're not with the COG anymore. He's against them now.
Oh,
They've gone like a whole different way.
So everybody thinks they're just gonna kill him off.
No, I didn't
there's
say
this
that.
whole-
because
Oh,
I would assume this is a new trilogy of a story,
I would
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
they've
and
been
you
very
can't-
open about that.
Yeah, and you can't have the lead from the previous one, so he's pretty much there to bridge the gap. I mean, it's pretty much like
I mean,
Obi-Wan and Luke
better-
Skywalker,
I mean, one of the
or
taglines.
Gandalf and Frodo and stuff. You know,
One
the
of the
old
big-
mentor has to die to pass the torch.
Yeah.
Now, but weren't some of us saying similar things last year with Locke and Master Chief? Granted, that ended up being
that was
pretty
Zaz.
disappointing.
Yeah,
was Zaz.
they didn't hand it off to Locke. Instead, they just made freaking Cortana go crazy ass bitch instead.
Well, that was a whole other story because I think they were gonna do that. Like we've mentioned before. I promise I'm not gonna take us down the road, but that was I think a whole other story if they wanted to do it and then the fans backlashed and all that. But it comes down to the same story with the potential death of Marcus Phoenix. That there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
Exactly.
And as long as they
Saving
as
his son would be the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
As
had
And
they
with
can do
the
something
okay,
like
I have
that,
to say, with the grittiness of this game, killing Marcus Phoenix would be the logical thing to do
It fits the
because
universe,
this,
I agree.
yes, it fits the universe perfectly with the grittiness, the,
Oh, man.
the brutal, and everything else like that. This is definitely the best style of
Let's
game
move
to
on.
do that right.
Well, and
Well,
like,
yeah.
I don't want it to happen, but I hope they do it right. And somebody better bring me some fucking tissues or something.
All right, so
Yeah.
for everybody, you know, be ready for this campaign. It can either be crazy or you're gonna hate it. Anyways, so as we are going on with the next topic, of course, I am super excited. This is
man.
one of the games that
We're gonna talk about this
I am
forever.
in
She would
love
move on real
with.
quick.
I
No.
would, yes, I would, because well, we have a lot of topics. But
Sure.
with that being said, I streamed the multiplayer gameplay today, and you know. Okay, Titanfall 2, everybody. Yes, yes.
She's
you
gone.
have- Oh my god, yes. The tech test is coming this weekend. I'm going to be lost in this game. You either join me or just get out of my way because, oh my god. What does everybody think about Titanfall 2, the tech test, and the new, look at the Titans and maps and so on and so forth?
Community
Right.
game time.
Awesome.
Community
Awesome.
game time.
Yes, it is, definitely.
Awesome.
Let's start off with Wendy. What do you think?
And
He's speechless.
Yep. He has no words. It's just that good.
Okay, well then let's...
we'll come back to
Let-
Wendy.
Yeah, we will definitely. Wendy, if you can hear us, anytime you can jump in, just jump in and I'll cut everybody off, I swear. Okay,
Okay.
so definitely. Let's start with Brutal. What do you think about Titanfall?
Girl, shit. Titanfall. I mean, there's that group of people that have been playing Titanfall since through this dead space of player drop and this in between period between Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. Like, let's be honest, like Titanfall 1's like lifespan wasn't that long. Titanfall 1 didn't have like a massive impact on players, and I think Titanfall 2 is going to capitalize on the fact that the entire PlayStation fan base is involved now. They need to deliver a game that's going to really sit in people's minds, and there's been this talk of like, oh, the maps look the same, it doesn't look that different, but we're all forgetting, and Rand, I know you're going to back me on this one, we're all forgetting the fact that there's an entire campaign attached to this game now.
Who cares about the campaign?
Dude,
I
like,
play it,
bro.
you can't say who cares about the campaign. Like, everyone wants to know the lore behind Titanfall. Like Titanfall lore could be really, really cool. And I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from the multiplayer. I mean, I'm in love with Titanfall because of its multiplayer. That's
Here's
what
the
all
thing.
of us are in love with.
This is why
Titanfall is for.
there's a number 2, is because that multiplayer was so
Yeah,
damn
you're,
good.
you're right, but
And that
to
is
make-
why the maps are actually so much similar. Now, everyone wants.
not
Okay, I've
similar.
had people complain about this, that the maps look similar to the original ones. That's because people, if you listen to what the developers actually said, it's a complete sequel to the first one.
I don't
It is
get
to
this
actually-
argument anyway. Like, so maps in the Halo universe look similar too because it's the Halo universe. It's the Titanfall universe. This is what they look like.
But
That's their
the thing is, some of the maps look almost identical, which again I can
I
understand.
didn't see that at all. I must have been watching a different stream than everybody else was watching.
Well, I guess you have to pay really close attention to detail. It still comes down to it's still a sequel, regardless of the fact of whether it is alike or people think it's not alike. Whichever, it's still a sequel. So yes, in the complete aspect of what GKB just said, it's gonna look the same. It's just the way it is. It's still gonna play just as amazing. There's swords, grappling hooks. There is everything in this game, and I am just jealous that I didn't get asked to go play it at the beta.
92 people watching right now. Let's go. Let's hit that 100. Let's do this.
Yo,
Awesome.
Brutal's got a $10 XBL card for any once we get over 100.
Oh,
do it,
baby.
Well, you have to promote that on Twitter to actually
Girl, I'm
telling
right
it-
right now. Shit.
Get on there.
Well, it's
My
just telling
retweeting fingers
people
are
here
ready.
on the show. They're like, well, we're already here, so.
They all have Twitters that can share it.
Anyway.
So I
Wait
really
for it
like
to happen.
I really like the multiplayer gameplay they showed. I really like the small details that they changed in the game.
I agree.
Obviously, a grappling hook looks really cool. Like the way they used it, I like that. The way you get on top of the Titan and then you pull out that thing, that core thing, and then you drop a grenade in there. That's also cool. So like little things like that is different. So for me, from what I saw, it looks just like the first one, but better. So I'm really excited to play the freaking beta.
Your Titan has a laser beam in its chest.
Oh my
See,
god, I'm
that's
gonna
the
use
cool
that one.
thing.
That's the one I'm gonna use.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. Go
Hey,
ahead.
Wendy.
Yeah,
All right,
back.
Wendy, what are your
Jump
thoughts
in.
on
Well,
Titanfall?
Yeah, with Titanfall, I think Activision's kicking themselves in the ass right now because this is what Call of Duty should have became, and they weren't allowed to do it. And holy shit, like I was in awe. I watched it like 4 or 5 times in a row,
Same
like
here.
just to make
Nice.
sure that I seen what I'm seeing is correct. But that game looks amazing. I mean, that's how multiplayer is supposed to be when it comes down to 6-on-6 type, fast-paced shooting and stuff like that. That was phenomenal. I was in awe.
Yeah, I also like the fact that this small detail that I missed apparently. When the Titans dropped down, they had the different color shields and all that kind of stuff. I thought
Oh
that
yeah,
was
they
really
have
awesome.
all
Oh
that.
yeah, that's right.
That's. I mean, now you're able I like the fact that like if when dudes are on the ground shooting it, you could just throw like a lane of fire. That stuff's awesome. I mean,
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
the
they
they
give
different
the
really-
pilots
abilities.
way more now to do than before.
Did anybody see?
Yeah.
Me and Brutal were talking about this today. Did anybody see like burn cards or anybody activating any burn cards or anything? Because I didn't really
No.
see it. And I want to know if they were in the game or not.
no.
No,
I
but
didn't see
but that could possibly come to the actual release game, though. They may just not have incorporated it in this one because, after all, you don't have they didn't have grunts in this, but we do know they're going to have grunts. They didn't have all the Titans and everything like that, so it's possible that we may see that later on. But
Yeah.
I didn't see it in.
She-Wolf, I heard they have a mode where you could take the Titans out and you
Pilot
could just
versus
have pilots.
I know.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
oh, She-Wolf is
yes.
gonna be like, let's
Well,
get on
no.
that.
They had that in Titanfall 1.
They had that in Titanfall 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. First
Pilot
off,
hub.
People MCing the thing though. Rip it open and then stick his gun inside to shoot the pilot, right?
oh my god.
Savage.
I saw that like
Savage.
6 times, and I was like, man, I hope there's a different kill animation because I've already it kind of already wore out for me just watching that stream.
I'm sure that there's. I would be willing to bet that there's a good amount of
I hope
like,
so.
kill animations and like executions. That
I
they're
don't
just-
see why not. I mean,
that
we
they're
had
not gonna
different ones
showcase.
on the
I mean,
first one.
Did they? I did walk away for like a minute. Did we cover the fact that this tech test is pilot only?
Wait, it's
Oh, there's 2 modes.
yeah, no, it's the first week is pilots versus pilots, and then also
Yeah. I'm
second
talking
week,
about the
yeah.
one coming up.
there's no
There's 2 maps and it's just 2 modes. It's about the gist of the tech test. But of course, this is something that I can go on and talk probably about the whole show about. So we're going to actually move on to the next topic in the lineup. And of course, this one is probably not going to get as much heat as Titanfall and as Gears. But hey, Destiny has just announced some new features that is coming, and that is there's going to be private PvP matches, there's going to be new maps from Rise of Iron, or whatever it's called, so...
Yep, that's the one.
Community game night right there, Destiny.
Private
Yeah, it can definitely get added in. So what is everyone's thoughts on Destiny? We're going to start with Ram, because, well, we know how much he's a Destiny fan.
I like everything they showed in the live stream. The fact that private matches is coming is something that the community has asked for, and they're delivering. A little crappy that it wasn't included in the first place, but that's going to be a big boon. Like all the new armor sets. Did you see those armor sets that they have now
They did look pretty sick.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, they look
great.
really
the fire
good.
and stuff on them.
Yeah, the new raid,
Oh, yeah.
like Destiny. Like I've been a vocal critic of Destiny. Like I thought Vanilla and even the 2 expansions after that were subpar for the amount of hype the game's gotten, similar to like No Man's Sky.
Mhm.
But with the Taken King, and it seems like with Rise of Iron, it seems like they've maybe found their footing. And I honestly am excited to play this when it comes out on the 20th. I think it looks great. I think it's going to play great, and I think there are going to be a bunch of people on the game playing it. And maybe one day we'll do community game night, and I can shoot all you guys in the fucking face.
Oh, shit.
Wow. You
I
actually
got
gonna
a
join this time?
I'm jumping in there for sure.
Yeah,
I got a
Yeah,
question real
she's
quick.
pretty brutal when it comes to Destiny.
yeah. So I'm on Fox's team. I'm calling it right now.
Fox is a goddamn.
Yeah,
anomaly.
what's up, Wendy?
Well, no, my question is, because I know I've asked this before in previous podcasts with you guys, with the Division being what it became, to me, from what I see just off of Twitter, Destiny seems even more popular. I mean, now obviously they announced this, but even before this, that it's like everyone went back and now are appreciating what Destiny is offering compared to
Oh,
what the
yeah.
Division was doing.
Definitely.
And that's the thing. I never played both to the, maybe Rand can answer this, but do you think because of that, the Division basically, to me right now, it's a fail for everything that they've done. Do you think
Right.
Destiny has become bigger than what it actually was headed? Because there was a time where people were sick of Destiny, and now everyone's loving it again.
Well, because I think the one thing Destiny always had over the Vision was that Destiny's core concept and core gameplay loop is I'm going to try to say this word, infinitesimally or infinitely better than the Division's gameplay loop. Division does not play as well. Like the shooting in Destiny is way better than the shooting in Division. And
Yeah.
I think Bungie has the resources and the money and the support to do something on this large of a scale was, I think, massive, and Ubisoft weren't prepared for it.
Yeah.
And I think
Well, plus Destiny also kept their multiplayer. They always had
Yeah.
that as a strong background where the Division never had a great multiplayer. Their Dark Zone was always so unorganized that it just couldn't keep players in it.
Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah,
I remember when with the Division, everyone was like, "Oh, this is better than Destiny," blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, once they got to Endgame, it's like, this fucking game sucks. And then now they're fucking back to Destiny like it's a brand new game.
Well, because that's what these expansions are supposed to do. They're supposed to bring life back into the games. I mean, like that's the problem Division had. It was like once you went through the campaign, which was cool, and once you got everything, the end game stuff was terrible. And then all the
That was it.
glitches and hacks and all that stuff came out.
Oh yeah,
And then
definitely.
the Dark Zone became a crap show. And then they kept on having problems, and the DLC was a complete waste of time. Like everything that could go wrong with that game went
It
wrong.
went wrong.
Well,
And
at the
there-
same time, Destiny was kind of riding the ship, so to speak. So
The Division didn't have that much to offer, though, right? I mean, it had the story, the Dark Zone, and challenges or something like that. And when you compare to Destiny, you have like raids, you have multiplayer, Iron Banner, or events like
there's more to do. In Destiny.
SRL and stuff like that. So,
That was the one thing my one concern with Division always was where's the PvP, actual PvP, not like this Dark Zone mode. And that was one of my concerns from the beginning. And I think that's finally reared its ugly head.
Yeah.
Because there are people
That's
who play
hurt it.
Destiny and only play the multiplayer. They don't give a shit about raids and
They want to
all
play
the
the
other stuff.
PvP.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
that's really the thing about Destiny in the long run that sets it apart is the diversity of gameplay.
right.
You know, it's I've got guys who only ever want to talk to me. Like, I'll be like, oh, hey, did you hear about the Rise of Iron expansion coming out? And they're like, if it's not Iron Banner, just don't even waste your breath.
I think
So,
it's
like, don't talk to me if it's not that. You know,
I think
like I
this-
know those are the same, but just in terms of like the event, like there are people who really want to do that multiplayer because it's right there. Whereas in Division, like it's like if you weren't into the core gameplay, if you didn't level with the basic flow of that game, then nothing would bring you back from that. There was no redeeming factor if you weren't with it on the base level.
Yeah,
So
I
back
also
to
think-
Destiny real quick. I think the stuff they showed was like really awesome. I like all the new stuff they showed. I think it's a great way to push Destiny and everything. But man, that price tag on this DLC is kind of ridiculous.
What is the price tag?
It's 30.
30. It's not. I mean, it's
That's-
better than 40.
Well,
I mean,
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, cause I see there's gonna end up probably being like some deal for like people who buy like the whole entire set again, where
It's
you
60.
like yeah.
Well,
see,
no, I
so,
think the
everything.
collection, if you own Taken King on the Xbox, you can get the Destiny the complete collection for 40. So there is some discount. But I mean, for me, I just need Rise of Iron, so I'll
Yeah.
drop the 30. I don't need the collection.
Exactly.
I have everything.
I don't know. I still think that's a bit much.
Well, the
I
good
gotta
thing
do
for the private
collection
matches
now.
though, that comes just as an update. It's not part of the $30 deal.
So the private matches are everybody who owns Destiny can use it. The new game mode, Supremacy, which is kill confirm from Call of Duty, that is exclusive to Rise of Iron.
correct.
Ooh. Interesting. Okay, well, because we are starting to crunch down on time, and of course, it was, we have some pretty good topics, let's move into our first segment, as, again, we're crunching down time.
Getting into discussion. And here's the discussion with.
What's up, guys? Today we have something that's near and dear to my heart, and I think a lot of people that have played any games from the first earlier generation consoles will like this game as well. Today we're doing Maltida da Castilla, which roughly equates to Cursed Castle in English, if you were wondering. But it's essentially, let me ask this everybody right off the bat: has anybody on the console corner panel tonight played Ghouls and Ghosts or
Yes.
Ghosts and Goblins?
Yes.
Any of those?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, then you've played this game. The game's awesome. I got it for $11.99 on Xbox Live. It's a perfect successor to Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins. Any of those? It's a 2D style like side scroller. What did you guys think about the difficulty of the original game when you first played it? How did you like it?
I think it was brutally, not to pun or anything, but it was brutally difficult, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've went back to it, like recently, probably like a month or so ago, and I was playing it again, and man, it's tough. I can definitely get further than I did before, but it's still a tough game.
All right. That right there is the one thing that this game changed. And I'm not kidding you. From the UI to like the mechanics to the music to the settings of the game, the one thing I noticed, it was a huge difference, which makes this game a lot more marketable and a lot more enjoyable for a lot of people that aren't into that grueling like torture test of a game. This game has infinite continues. The only thing that you're wagering is like part of your soul, and to me that doesn't really mean anything because I don't have one in the first place. So, um, I no, in all honesty though, the game is excellent. If you're into those arcade like retro style like 2D side scrollers, pick it up. If you played the game before, if you played Ghouls and Goblins before, please go ahead and pick it up. It's an excellent game. You can get it for a great price. It's totally worth the money. I really enjoyed the boss fights in it were really nice. There's a few weapon changes, some of the same aggravating aspects of the game that kind of make you just wish you never played it in the first place. But overall, the game's excellent. Go pick it up. I'm definitely giving it a buy. Um, I don't think anybody's really played it on here. Somebody on ICXM did a review on the game, which caught my interest in the first place. And I'm sorry if you're listening, I can't remember. I want to say it was Dryer, but I can't say for sure, so don't quote me on that. But the game's excellent. Definitely go pick it up if you have the opportunity to.
Sweet. She-Wolf.
And we're just trying to make it super short and sweet, so.
Oh well, I thought somebody else was gonna have comments or something in there, but all right, I guess we are going to move on that quickly.
Yeah,
okay,
go
so
pick it up.
It's good.
It's
awesome.
Can I talk now?
Nope.
Are you
No.
sure?
Taking it over.
No.
You see, I have to continue, but then you want to keep cutting me off. Shut the fuck up!
There we go. I was just waiting for that. That's why
Finally.
I waited the whole time.
Whoa.
Jeez.
All right. Anyway, well, everyone seems to like the whole. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So, moving on with more Gamescom excitement. Next, we got to see a lot of gameplay today from a game a lot have had some mixed feelings about, and of course, that is Sea of Thieves. We got to see a bunch of people playing, crashing ships, falling in water, and running around. What was everyone's opinions on this? Let's start with Asthmatic.
It's looking pretty sweet, like, because so far with the game, like, we had seen, like, a couple things, like, we really were going off of the developer saying, hey, this is super fun from what we're playing. We had the one video from E3 of the guys playing it, and we saw a little bit of them driving ships and them getting drunk, and that being super fun with the controls and everything. But this was the first opportunity to really get to see a little bit more into how the game is, like, hour to hour, and kind of what it's going to be like apart from those crazy moments. And it really now feels more like a complete experience, and one that we can be more excited about from all angles. So it was just really good. It was the right time to get more information on what the game was going to look like from more sides, and everything new that we've got just makes it all the more exciting.
Awesome. What about you, Wendy? Your thoughts on Sea of Thieves?
I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't expect to see what I was seeing. It looks fun as hell, especially if you can get a community involved that you actually know these people.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I question is there like a leveling system? Like if you are the dude that drives, do you eventually become a better sailor? If you're
Like an upgrading system.
Yeah, like I'm very curious. Is there like not so much an end game, but like is there a purpose besides just getting in a boat, blowing up the other boat, and hoping to steal their boat or whatever the case may be?
I'm sure there is, man. They're probably just keeping that really tight-lipped now. They didn't want to show everything.
It looks very. I told my son about it today. It looks very fun. Like that's like some like your 8-year-old all over again. It looks great. It really does.
What about you, Rand? Because you got to play this at E3 and whatnot. So did you get to watch the stream today?
No, I did not get to watch it. But I mean, I'll echo what I played of it at E3. I thought the game was fun. I think there's a cool concept there. I thought the ship-to-ship combat was well done. However, I think there needs to be... I'm interested in finding out what you actually do outside of that. I want to know, are there quests you go on with your crew? Do you find treasures? Is there things you do around the islands to... I want to know, like, basically... Because what they're giving us is one snippet of the game. It's like, okay, this is the ship-to-ship combat and looks fun. But, like, to be honest with you, like that's only going to hold my interest for so long, right? As I'm sure it probably would, for the same for most people. So I think a lot of people are kind of anxious to like know everything about the game. Like, what do you do outside of that? And that's where I'm kind of now like, all right, you've kind of sold me on the game, and now I'm just waiting for the rest of the information.
Yeah, me too. Like, I saw a lot of the stream. I was watching quite a bit of it, and the one thing I took away from it is everybody that played it had a smile on their face. So I thought that was really cool. So it's really fun to play at that point. At least the slice that they're showing us. I'm much like Rand. I want to see what else we can do. I do understand that, hey, this game's not coming out. It's probably not coming out for a little while, and they want to keep all that stuff, tight to the chest there. But yeah, I want to see more gameplay.
But I'm sure everyone's kind of wondering, is this going to be where this is about the gist of it? If so, then it's going to end up, like Division and all these other games that we all keep talking about and complaining about. Because if there's not the whole playability to it where you can constantly go back, then there's no point to the game. And games become redundant. And, of course, of us being gamers, there's always new games coming out, and we want those games. So I definitely hope there's more to this game, and I definitely agree with everyone that I want to see what's to come.
Here's what I want to know too: if we could take if we can get a bunch of ships, like say, Console Corner, TXR, we all have ships. Can we all roam together and pretty much take over the server? Because that sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Ooh, that'd be crazy.
Just steamroll the server.
What was I saying earlier, GKB? Mine would be all the rum that we plunder from everybody. That would be my ship. It's gonna be the Lady Brutal, and we're gonna just fuck. That's gonna be the party ship.
From what I saw, oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I really hope that aspect is somewhat implemented to where you can have an armada of us, all your friends, and because that's what pirates were, right? You got your crew and you just went out and just took everything. And I really hope that they incorporate that into the game itself. I was one of the people that was I've been doubting Sea of Thieves since I saw it. Like, it looked cartoony, it looked campy to me, but now it's growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually excited about playing this game now.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I'm with you on that, because at first I was like, oh, it looks cute and stuff, but I'm probably not going to play it, especially if they're comparing it to MMO style. I don't really like those type of games, but every time I see it, I like it more and more. It looks way fun. I would love to stream that with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. How
Yep.
cool would it be if we could... Go ahead. I had one quick idea here.
Then throw it in there.
How cool would it be if we could have the entire community game time, everybody's in the same armada together, and we're just rolling through in community game time, just crushing everybody, and we're all in a party together. That would just be awesome.
I agree.
I think that would just be amazing.
I think somebody's going to betray somebody when we find some booties and stuff like that.
I'm out. See ya.
Yeah, now it's interesting.
Yeah, that's
I
fun.
could see somebody turn on somebody. But hey, it's definitely a great concept, and we're definitely, I'm sure, everybody wanting to know more. But now we're going to move on to another topic that has been, again, another one that is just mixed feelings from since they announced it. I'm talking about the original, not this part. Calm down. Anyways, Call of Duty has gotten so many different reviews on whether or not it's going to be a good game because of it being in space. However, there's always been one thing that has always made gamers go back to this game, and that is the Call of Duty Zombies. So with that being said, this time around, they're actually bringing it into an 80s feel where you're at some space land. They should have just been called Zombieland, but anyways. And, of course, everything is in an 80s feel. So let's start with GKB on this one.
First off, I gotta say, there's some people on this panel that are very salty about this 80s zombies thing here.
Straight up Morton salt all day.
Just, jeez. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Well, I'm sorry if we weren't partying in the 80s with yous.
I was actually born.
Grandpa.
You weren't born in the 80s? Nice try. You were born in the 70s.
Okay.
And a hush fell over the console corner.
Aw, he forgot. That's not his fault.
Okay.
Anyways.
So, yeah, I think it's freaking awesome. I love the whole 80s feel, the Hoffs in the freaking game. Like, what? I I just loved it. I thought it was really campy. I thought it was very hilarious. I like how they put like the boombox down on the thing and the zombies were dancing, and then it exploded and blew them all up. I thought that was great. I thought it had a lot of sense of humor. I'm glad they're going this route instead of that alien thing they did before. I thought that was really weird and I didn't like it, but yeah, I'm super hyped for it.
So
What about
I'm
you,
gonna.
Brutal? Oh, okay. We're gonna no. We're gonna get the advocate here. Let's hear it, Fox.
So I'm gonna jump in and go completely the opposite way because I thought it was booty. I thought it was crap. I thought they were really trying hard with
The
this
salt.
trailer. No, I'm just being honest. There's no salt. I mean, only my chicken. But besides that, I really thought it was like really try hard. Like, hey, look at us. Don't play, Dead Rising. Play our game. Like, get out of here with that garbage. You're supposed to be serious. How are you gonna go from Nazi zombies to this garbage? I'm sorry, I don't like it. I'm not gonna rave with some zombies, okay? I'm just being honest.
But they got mohawks.
I mean, that's the problem. Like how
I
you
don't,
said
I don't see
earlier,
the
that's the
correlation
only cool
between
part.
Dead Rising and the zombies here because they're
Trying to
completely
be all
different.
fun and.
Oh,
Yeah, answer that for me.
telephone.
Hello, it's dog.
I don't like it. Like I don't like the whole goofy, aspect of it. They're trying to be like too fun and friendly and crazy like Dead Rising. That's how I see it, though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, so you think they're going for the irreverent tone that kind of Dead Rising has, where it's everything's like just ridiculous,
Yeah.
throw stuff at the wall. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, a little bit too, kind of like was it Plant vs Zombies with the whole music and stuff, like trying to make it look old school.
Well,
It's like
was,
they're trying to grab at straws.
was the new Call of Duty was the zombies in this Black Ops 3? Was that more serious? Because I didn't play this one, so I'm not sure.
Well,
So
there are dragons, I thought.
That is true.
It
There are
doesn't add
dragons.
that. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, they're
No,
a bit
no,
more
okay,
seriously
first
as
off,
far as Call of Duty could be.
It was okay. First off, the original Call of Duty or the zombies in Black Ops 3, it was actually like in the gangster time when because they were all mafia and everything else like that. So it was still more serious tone.
Yeah, the only goofy part that I saw when I played it was like the bubblegum thing. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I tried the game over there, but besides that, it was dark. And this doesn't look dark. This looks like fun and goofy and stuff.
I think it's a refreshing.
Hey, you see the
zombies.
key word you said there though, right? You said fun and
Ooh.
goofy. Dang.
Well, that's fine if that's what you want from your zombies and stuff, just like Dead Rising.
Yes, that's what I want.
Okay, cool. Then there you go. I mean, I like the Nazi zombies.
You can fight some big, gigantic, weird-looking zombie from the 80s. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Well, this seems to be working because, like, with the last couple iterations, like, it's just gotten ridiculous. The whole zombies and everything that Call of Duty's got going for it, because I feel like it's not a game that, like, I want to say it's not taken seriously in terms of that it's not, like, a serious, like, wartime game like your Battlefield is. Like, it's super arcade, it's super ridiculous, and they've been playing on that, and it makes a lot of sense now to see the developers just like, all right, we're going to take the zombie mode and just take the craziness to 11. Like,
But
it's
you
isn't
gotta
it
remember
kind of
too-
funny, though, the fact that they called it Spaceland when, oh my god, the new Call of Duty's in space?
Yeah, they're like, it's just a joke now. I'm like, yeah, it seems appropriate with where this franchise has been going. It's like, yeah, it's.
Well, you got to
it's
remember
just-
too that this is their first, and Infinity Ward's first time doing the zombies. They usually did that horde mode
Alien.
type thing. Well, no, the Alien,
special ops.
yeah, they did
Oh,
the spec
right.
ops, and then AW.
Well, they didn't do it,
Yeah.
right? That was
That was Sledgehammer.
yeah, exactly.
man, I think that that retro feel, like, that's a huge selling point right now. Like, I mean, look at
For sure.
between between TV. I mean, look at like Stranger Things. Stranger Things is crushing it right now. That's a retro feel. Like, I mean, I might be speaking partially because I like retro games in general, but like that looks fun. Like, regardless of whether or not it's campy or it's cartoony, whatever you want to call it, it looks like just you get with your friends and you're playing. It's going to give you laughs. It's going to give. I mean, let's be honest. It's fucking zombies. Like, it's not supposed to be realistic, and I mean, it's just gonna get. I mean, the look at the graphic that we have displayed right now. It's very vibrant. The neon colors, the music, the first song that came up. GKB, what song played?
Oh
And we were
man,
like, oh shit,
I
what's
can't remember,
what
dude.
song
I was
that?
just fuck. I can't remember what the song
The
was.
song was whatever it was. I mean, it's 80s as hell. It looks awesome. It has, like GKB said, it has the Hoff in it. Like,
Come
what?
on, it's got the Hoff.
Let me get that Baywatch love, bro.
Yeah.
They went all the way.
Or that Knight Rider.
Yeah, you gotta remember, like as Maddox said, it's Call of Duty. For $60, you're still getting your campaign, your multiplayer, and another zombie mode. They don't have to do it; they just do it, and people love it.
All right, so here's the thing. I am kind of get to the point where I'm just sick and tired of zombies, and it seems like that's all people want. Like I was actually kind of
I can get on board with that, Rand.
like when it was like Treyarch did zombies, and that's what they did, and Infinity Ward did Spec Ops, and then they did Extinction, and it was different. It was what they did, and then it was like. Because now it's just like, okay, like Treyarch does their zombies. Now Infinity Ward's doing zombies. And then Sledgehammer's going to
Sledgehammer
do
does
zombies.
zombies.
It's just zombies. It's like, at this point, it's like, I feel like they're almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here.
Overused?
Oversaturating it. I'm just.
Yeah.
There was a point where I
100%.
was excited for it. Like I liked the Treyarch zombies. Like I didn't like Treyarch's campaigns. Like I didn't like their Treyarch Call of Duty or their multiplayer. But I really enjoyed doing the zombie Easter eggs with my friends when they come out. But like when it's like a new zombie every year, and then plus like DLC with 4 zombie maps, which I'm a completionist. I like to complete everything I play, so I would do all those. It just became like a hassle, and it kind of like the fun and all that stuff kind of eventually wore out to this point where it looks fucking great. 80s, like I was born in 1981, so I remember some of that stuff. Like I kind of marked out and geeked out when I saw the proton pack, the goes by, and I saw little Michael Jackson Thriller dancer. I'm like, that stuff brought a smile to my face, but I'm just like, I'm done with zombies. I've been playing them since like World at War, and I just don't care anymore.
But don't you kind of think that now that it's been such an institution as part of like the Call of Duty franchise, like don't you think it's almost expected now that Call of Duty has zombies? Like, and whether or not that's a bad thing to you or not, like we gotta accept like that's part of the game now. Like
yeah, but the fact that they took it to like an amusement park, they could have done something differently, like clowns or like things you find in an amusement park. There is like giant teddy bears or something. There's something there. They could have changed it up.
I mean, I think the Spaceland part of it is a whole. I mean, I think it's partially a play on the fact that Call of Duty is moving to space, and it's kind of that like Easter egg, kind of hidden message kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, kind of capitalizing on the fact that there's all this press that Call of Duty's in space now, so now they have a space land zombies, and it kind of ties the thing together, and it still gives it that. Regardless of how like dark zombies gets, there's a lighthearted feel in the sense that it's essentially a mini game. It's a subset of like the main game that you're buying. And granted, there's people that buy Call of Duty just for zombies, but the thing's there to have fun with. It's not the main focus of the game, and I think that this Zombies in Spaceland is going to capitalize on that perfectly. I think it's going to be a fun game type to play.
There was at one time they were gonna split this into its own game.
Yeah.
Well, I think they should have. And when it comes down to it, you're either gonna hate it, you're gonna love it, you're gonna play it, you're not. But we are going to actually now move on to the next topic because again, we still got a few things to do. So. Next quick topic is game preview is going to Windows 10. So I guess we'll start with Ran on this one.
Game preview on Windows 10. Let's see. I guess it's great for the developers to get more people on the store to test their games and stuff like that. Even though I don't really think many people use Windows 10. Let's be honest. Yeah. Game preview kind of exists on Steam already as early access. But I'm all for developers putting their games on whatever they want to put them on. If they want to put them on Windows 10, then more power to them. it's been hit or miss for me with some of the games preview games. Some of them have been okay. Some of them have been terrible. And it's always funny when you try to critique a game that's in early access because people will be like, "Well, you can't say that. It's not finished." Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know what you're talking about.
it's like We Happy Few, in my opinion, is a pile of dog shit.
Yeah,
Right?
if it's just the early it's not finished thing, like when my dog takes a shit, I can tell he's shitting. He's not
Yeah.
finished yet, but it's still
But
shit.
it's like that everyone's like, "Oh, you
I still
can't
know where this is
judge
going."
it yet. You can't judge it because it's not done." It's like, okay, I paid $30 for the game, and you're telling me I can't critique the thing I bought? It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I just loved I loved when I reviewed. We had a few people were like, "Well, how can you review it? It's in game preview." And it's like, if Compulsion rolls out press codes, then I can evaluate it. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
especially an example of like, if the developer feels comfortable rolling out stuff to the press, then it should be critiqued, right?
That's
I don't know.
why they
I
roll it
think
out.
that people. Yeah, right. I don't know. People these days are just so defensive of any game that has hype, and that you kind of just get this toxic community that's like, don't talk shit about this game that I've dedicated so much of my time to. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, and it's the same thing where like you've got a game like We Happy Few that people are actually playing and has been hyped for so long, and then the people who have got their hands on it are saying all the all the crappy things they are about it because that's how it is. Whereas like we were just talking about Sea of Thieves, which is a game that we've only ever been able to play at a con. And this is a game that we've only mainly seen videos of. We haven't had a chance to bring home yet, but we still are far more confident in this game because it's like we see great things. Like the people who have played it like it, and it's that just because it's not finished yet, are we not allowed to say that that game is promising and that game looks like it's going to be fun and totally worth the money? Because it's the exact same argument. It's just that game looks great.
Yeah, you can
Sure.
say the same thing for Ark. A lot of people already like that, and they've already accepted it. And that was way before it was even done, and it was like glitchy as hell.
Have you guys seen how many of the early acts or game preview, my bad, are the exploration / crafting / survival type games?
I thought that was all
It's
game
the same
preview.
on
It's
PC.
like-
It's
I know,
all
it's
the
just.
genre is
I mean,
now.
I know Culling's going to be coming eventually, and Daisy's been
Yep.
announced. Who knows when that's ever going to show up? But like, it seems like it's
Forever.
like game preview is targeting a single type of game, a single
think-
genre.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Do you think that those type of games need a little bit more encouragement to the public before they are actually going to be somewhat successful?
I don't know, because Layers of Fear was a game preview game, and it's nothing like those other ones. I mean, Layers of Fear was probably the best game preview game I ended up
I
playing.
love that game.
I mean, it's good. I just wasn't really scared by it.
No.
But I don't know, like, what else is coming to? So that Happy Dungeons games in game preview
Are we
right now.
are we
Well,
gonna
like-
get?
We kind of talked about this last week, but one of the things, and I agree, I think there's an oversaturation within, alpha or whatever game preview being crafting centric, and I think that's totally a thing. But also, one of the things we talked about last week was like getting crafting and kind of survival mechanics down to where they feel good is probably pretty fucking hard as a
Oh
developer.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just
I don't
think about
think
it.
they've
You have
ever
to think
done that.
about how fast does food drain, how fast is how fast you get tired, and like We Happy Few is an example of a game that did that very poorly, in my opinion. Right? Like you got hungry in like a
Yeah.
ridiculously short amount of time, and
But-
and I think that's the type of stuff that can benefit from game preview. But I also think that's an excuse to release half of a game and get a lot of money.
Well,
So,
I think with those
I don't
games
know.
too, like, no, even if they're in the game preview, even at the end, like, even with Solus Project and stuff, I still don't think it felt good, even playing through the game. So
Well, that's kind of what we were saying last week when we were talking about the Solus Project. Like the mechanic of a survival game is hard to nail and make the game entertaining still.
exactly.
Well, that's my
Right.
biggest thing is you spend more time focusing on trying to actually stay alive than actually enjoying the game and the universe and all the details and mechanics that they actually brought to this game, and that's what I can't stand.
Yeah.
Well,
things
but
like a
I
chore.
also feel like even when they're, and it's kind of what you were saying, even in their final state, I feel like a lot of game preview games don't feel like a normal polished game. Like even Layers of Fear, which is a game I really like. I've got a really positive review about it because I'm a big fan of it. But that game does have, like, even to this day, has performance issues where the frame rate just drops. And I think that We Happy Few is another example where, like, when a game is in preview, it's understandable to have issues. But like, if you're out of the game preview program, like, your game should be polished from a performance standpoint. And I think that, I don't know if it's Microsoft or gamers who aren't holding these companies accountable, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like the same level of quality is in game preview.
Well, I mean, at least at least it's not the shit show that's early access on
Oh,
Steam.
absolutely. No, it's so much better than Steam.
Oh,
It's just, it obviously could be better.
I mean, there are different types of games on there. There's that Rivals of Ether game, which is like a
Yeah.
fighting game, or like
Yeah.
a,
Very
you know, there's
Elite Dangerous
Everspace,
came out. Oh yeah,
which comes out next
Everspace.
month. Is like a space
It's
game.
similar to
like,
Elite Dangerous, right?
yeah. So there's different types of games. I would like to see. I don't know. I don't even know what I would like to see come to game preview. I really wasn't that on board with game preview because I knew everybody talked about how bad early access was on Steam, and I didn't really want that to to kind of like invade the console space, because the last thing we need is half broken games. Which we kind of had in 2014, where like Unity came out and was broken, and so was like Master Chief. It's like, I mean, but if it gives indie developers the time they need and the financial, wherewithal to get through the game, then I guess it's okay. It's like, I don't know. I guess my biggest thing with We Happy Few was that which is kind of almost the same thing with No Man's Sky, was the ridiculous marketing, where they marketed it as one type of game, and then you actually play it, and it's completely the opposite. Like, my head spun at E3 when I was like, one of the first stages I went to was We Happy Few. I'm like, fuck yeah! Like, that trailer was badass. I'm gonna go play this shit. And I was like, I felt like I had the rug pulled out from underneath me.
I gotta agree with you, man. Like, once I saw people starting to play like We Happy Few, I completely lost interest in it. And I was really, really excited for that game, and it wasn't the game that I was thinking it was going to be, and the more I heard people
Okay,
talking
well,
about it,
I don't mean to cut you off, Brutal, but the topic, of course, is the preview coming to Windows 10. I just kind of want to
Just back
pull
on
everybody
track.
a little back here. We're not talking about the games in it. We're talking about going to Windows 10. Wendy, what about you? Do you have any comments before we move on? Dead Space.
Okay.
Okay,
It feels like a
alrighty.
really natural step, given the fact
Yeah.
that we've got Xbox Play Anywhere. Where we're seeing more of a merge between and me being an Xbox gamer doesn't mean that I always am playing games necessarily on my Xbox. I can get that similar experience on my computer as well, and so therefore bringing the game preview games that I like over there as well makes a lot of sense, because the people who are most excited, I think, about about Play Anywhere are the people on the more hardcore side, and the people that it's going to be the similar market who is already excited about game preview and what that brings to people as well. So to see this following in the footsteps of Xbox Play Anywhere feels really natural, and I'm glad that it was able to be done so quickly after Play Anywhere. Sorry, I keep getting those two terms crossed in my brain. It's good to see that coming so quickly after Play Anywhere is up and running. So
Yeah, definitely, when it comes down to it, I definitely agree with everything that you guys have all said, rant about how, it's just great for the developers, and that's what it really all comes down to.
Make that money.
So, with that being said, does anyone have anything, last little things they just want to quickly throw in before we get into Bear's review?
I was gonna say the more the merrier, more features, more options. They've got like 1,000 games that they want to preview, and why not have it as well on the PC?
Agreed.
Definitely. Awesome. Now into Bear's review.
Take it away, Bear.
Alright, everybody, so for this week's review, we're going to be talking about No Man's Sky. I know this is a game that probably a lot of people in the chat might not have played yet, but I know we've all been talking about it. So I think this is probably a good place to start. So No Man's Sky, since it's been announced in 2013, has been touted as an ambitious game from Hello Games, a tiny indie studio. And I really didn't get that feeling after initial hours. And I know that sounds like clickbait, but let me just go into further detail. One of the things that I found so disappointing was the very stark difference from what we saw at, say, E3 2014 and the final retail of the game. In the initial trailers, they kind of showed a world that was full of life, full of lush environments. And the final release it's got some lush environments, but it's mostly janky-looking animals and kind of barren rock planets with some neon lighting. It really didn't do a ton for me. One of the things that I thought would make a game that has procedural, well, pretty much any procedurally generated game work, is this concept of having a story that makes the procedurally generated world make sense, right? And No Man's Sky has the backdrop for that. It's the concept of child in the center of the universe. They don't give you much of a reason else why. And in the first moments, they kind of make it seem like there's going to be a bigger story, but it really falls flat, and your only motivation is keep spending resources to keep moving into further galaxies closer to the center. But what makes this such a grind, and what ultimately turned me off from the game, was to work from galaxy to galaxy getting towards the center. You have to collect the same resources in each galaxy, which means you're always looking for Heridium. You're always looking for, X, Y, and Z to build a warp cell so you can leave the galaxy. And so instead of exploring, you're really just looking for the same resources that look the exact same. It ultimately made for like a really weird feel of a half-baked game that didn't have a writer, and they kind of just shipped it. And that was kind of a major disappointment for me.
So then I have to ask, would you recommend this game?
Not broadly. I did, by the way, my review is up at bearclawgaming.com. I gave it a 2 out of 5, and I stand by that firmly. But I don't think this game is bad for everyone. And I don't think it's a flat-out bad game. It's just not a very interesting one. And that's a victim of hype. But if you like crafting and survival games and you don't mind, bad combat and repetitive gameplay, then hey, this is for you. And if you're a space nut, then, there's probably something in here for you too. But a lot of things that were promised in this game just didn't make it to final release. More often than not, instead of having a lush environment to explore, there are 8 animals that you can find on each planet, and that's it. And you can scan them and you can name them, and that's a cool novelty for a short amount of time. But ultimately, it's the same thing repeatedly. There are 18 quintillion planets in the game. I'm sure a lot of people know that because, well, that's how they marketed it. But after about exploring 12 or so, I kind of got the same idea that there's probably about 5 planets with minor differences, and they all kind of have the same vibe. But one of the things that was surprising was this game is far more survival than it is exploration, and that's a big disappointment for me. One of the things that's so cool about space and this idea of all these planets is you can lose yourself in this environment, but when the game constantly reminds you that, hey, your shields are getting low, or hey, you're about to be exposed to a thermal storm or radiation or whatever, and you have to constantly grind resources just to explore, it kind of hampens your desire to go out into the unknown because you're like, well, am I going to have enough resources to make it there and back without dying and losing stuff? And it just ended up being kind of a weak experience. But no, I don't think it's an outright terrible game. It's just not one that is anywhere remotely close to the hype it got. I'm not sure how it picked up so much steam, but the final release does not warrant the hype it got.
Bear, I got a question for you.
Sure.
So we're hearing rumors that it might come to the Xbox One, and if it does at some point, what would be a good price point for Xbox gamers if they wanted to go ahead and pick this up and they like that exploration? Because I think $60 is too high for this game.
$60 is a steep price for any title. I don't like to talk about price in my review because I think money is different to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
I think that in its current state, if I could pick the price that it should have launched at, it would have been $30. At least that's what makes the most sense after playing it for 12, 15 hours. That's where I feel comfortable. But I don't know. I mean, the thing is the day one patch was significant, right? So in a year, I honestly think that No Man's Sky could be a very different game, and it could be a much better game. And so I think we'll have to wait and see. But based on initial, replayability and general enjoyment, honestly, $30 tops for people who really like it. Otherwise, hard
that's what
pass.
I was thinking too. I was thinking 30 as well.
Well, I can definitely say one thing. If I want to play a survival, I'd rather play We Happy Few because at least I can laugh at the stupid people walking around in the streets talking to themselves.
Well, and that's a super good segment, and I actually have this in my review, and I'm glad that we got to it. One of the things that's really cool about other survival games many survival games like We Happy Few, is that you can stumble into people exploring the world. But in No Man's Sky, you really don't actually stumble on any alien life that's out exploring the world. Now you will find like buildings scattered randomly on planets, and you go inside there, and there's always an alien sitting in a chair, and you can feed him some carbon, and then he'll talk to you, and you can give him some more resources, and then he'll give you some new tech, or teach you a new word in the language, and like that's a little bit interesting, but you really don't interact with any AI or, for that matter, real people, and that's kind of weird. Like you really, really are alone, and like this sense of isolation isn't a good sense. It's not like, it's not Interstellar, right? Like you don't feel like you're out doing anything brave or interesting. You're literally just a miner traveling from planet to planet who goes and talks to frog creatures who sit in chairs through a text-based adventure. It's honestly, it's so forgettable. No, like look, and a lot of people. I published my review yesterday. I've gotten a lot of feedback. A couple of comments accusing me of not even playing the game, and like that's pretty offensive stuff. But like that happens. But it's one of those things to me where this is one of those games that has built up a lot of hype, and I'm sure there's been examples on Xbox where similar things have happened, but like this game is such a victim of hype that there are so many nasty, nasty supporters of this game. But you can't fall for the hype. As a person who's just trying to advocate for smart consuming decisions, like I couldn't have been more disappointed coming into this game with a positive attitude.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, from what I saw of the gameplay, it just feels like a barren wasteland. Like everything's lonely and empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Do you guys have any questions other than like just the common stuff?
This
I've
game
played a
doesn't
lot.
really intrigue me. So.
No. Well, and one of the things that I found really agitating, I actually had the same issue with BFEFU, was that, like any crafting game, you have an inventory. But the game starts you with like an insultingly low inventory, and so you're constantly juggling things from your ship inventory to your exosuit inventory, and to craft certain things, they have to be put in one of the two inventories, and like it creates this weird juggling effect where like you're not really having fun. It's kind of like shifting money through bank accounts. Like it just creates this weird thing, and one of the things I wanted to talk about in this game is this illusion of something greater. And I talked about this in my review, but this game has this facade where you'll be standing in a vista, on a planet, and you'll see a hill. And you think, oh, I bet there's something cool over that hill, so you spend, 5 minutes climbing it. And when you get to the top, you look over, and there's nothing there, but you see another hill, and you have this idea of, okay, but if I go to that hill, I'll find something different, something interesting, something memorable. And that doesn't happen, and that expands to the galaxy. One planet is boring, so you go to the next planet, and you assume that there's going to be something more, and there's not. And then you think, but if I saw 2 boring planets in a row, the next one's got to be great. And then it's this ongoing facade of when you're playing it, you don't realize that you're constantly being disappointed by what's on the screen. But it's like it's only when I had to do some life chores where I stepped away from the game for a day where I realized, wow, this game is an entire illusion of exploration and of discovery. Where the reality is it's just a grindy crafting game with no story and no plot. It was a total sham, and that sucks. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
What about you, Rand? You're apparently a big PlayStation player.
Am I?
Wow.
Ouch.
Am I? That big of a
Apparently. Remember, you hate Xbox and yada yada yada.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm like super negative, and I'm a downer, so therefore I must love PlayStation. Oh, I mean, No Man's Sky is the greatest game of all time. Clearly, I mean, bow down to the overlords at Sony Entertainment America, like for making this experience that has transcended everybody's lives and turned everything into harmony. I mean,
I figured you'd like it though. You love space and all that kind of stuff.
I do. But here's the thing: like, I like story in my games. I really like story. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Minecraft, among other things, like in those games like Ark or any of those other stuff. And I like, maybe you could say it's a problem with me, like I need to be directed to do stuff, and I don't like making up my own. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's my problem. But it's what I enjoy. Like when I play games without a story, I tend to get bored easily. I tend to be like, what am I doing this for? So I like playing a game and getting told something. That's why we watch movies, right? We watch a movie to be told a story. And No Man's Sky, I mean, I was not on the hype train from the very beginning. Like, thought the game looked like every type of game I don't like, which is that exploration slash survival slash crafting type game. And I understand people like that. I mean, Minecraft is a game just like that, and it's the biggest game in the entire world essentially. But it wasn't for me. So the fact that the game comes out and everybody's like in shock of how. Yeah, I mean, it's not really a surprise to me because, like, when I watched the trailers, I guess maybe I was coming at it from a different viewpoint than other people. But it is interesting how this game and the media and everybody kind of got behind it. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the sales numbers, but they're ridiculous, like utterly ridiculous.
Is that due to because they thought they were sold something that they?
Yeah, I mean, partially, but I mean,
look, one of the top posts in the No Man's Sky subreddit, I'm sure everyone here knows what Reddit is. One of the top posts is all of the things that have been said about the game and promised by the developer that aren't in the final thing, and then they even detail things that were said less than 4 months ago that were lies, and it's like this expounding thing of like everybody was sold on this thing, and what you got was the shell. And I don't mean to cut you off, Rand, but it's just like one of those things where I look, it's really easy to say, oh, you know, dumb people falling for marketing, but the reality is people were promised a much bigger game than this, and like you know, there was a lot of hate going.
Well, see, what I thought it was supposed to be just like a big exploration game where there was no survival or whatever. You just go and travel to millions and millions of galaxies and all this stuff, and you just fly around and look at things. And see, I thought that's what it was, and that's how they kind of portrayed it.
One of the issues with this game is its size, and I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but let me explain a little bit. One of the chief things is there's 18 quintillion planets, but there's really not a reason to see them. It doesn't matter. Everything you do in this game will ultimately be insubstantial. No matter what, you will only see 0.00001 maybe % of the game's content. Like that's it, and like that's a really weird feeling. And it's one of the things I talk about in my review is, you know, let's say you see a cool planet, you're like, I want to come back to this later, but you travel to a new galaxy. If you want to go back to that previous galaxy, you have to spend the same amount of time and resources that you could spend going to a new place just to go back to that old place. Like it's this really weird grindy thing that is ultimately super disappointing.
It almost seems like it feels like you're have that like what if feeling, like what if I'm not getting to the good planets, you know what I mean? Like what if there's so many planets and they're so like say randomly generated, like that feeling of like maybe I'll get to that one planet that's gonna sell me on this game. Did you ever get that feeling? Like you're gonna just go to the next one and you're like, all right, this is it. All right, this is why this game is.
That's kind of what I was talking about with like that concept of, well, when I get over this next hill, I'm gonna be excited, right? Like it's this, and that's the thing is the game maintains it very well because one of the things the game does pretty interestingly is there's a way you move, and the game is very relaxing, and like, but the music always kind of brings you into it, and like honestly, like it's a game that you can get lost in for a certain amount of time. It's just when you step away, you realize it's a sham. But in that time when you can get lost in it, it's you can lose hours just thinking, I want to go over that next hill and see something great, or that next planet, and ultimately, like you just never walk away feeling as impressed or as awe-inspired as you did. Or at least as I did, seeing the initial trailers at E3 2 years ago.
Well, it definitely sounds though that this game is kind of, you know, it's either you hate it or you know, it's another one where you're gonna like it or you're not. Most of the panel here are all Xbox people, and chances are haven't played it. But you know, if you have any little last things to add, Bear, we got to move on to some questions and kind of.
Nope. If anybody has any questions, obviously come find me on Twitter, and I'll tell you anything you want to know about No Man's Sky and my experience with it. Otherwise, my review is at bearclawgaming.com.
Read
but
that
that's
review.
Definitely. And then again, great review. Now we're gonna jump into some questions as we always do here. We always interact with you in the chat, the people watching, so get those questions out and get them ready. We're actually going to start with Mr. Solo with his first question, which is, if video games suddenly disappeared, what would you do to fill the void?
Work out more.
I'd cry in a corner.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, I'd probably... What I did before was I'd read books,
That's a good one
which
too,
I've kind of like stopped doing. as like I read a lot, so gaming kind of took over that hobby. So if games were suddenly gone, I probably would go back to reading quite a bit.
I would be a engineer on the Disneyland Railroad.
Whoa,
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Interesting.
I
Wait,
think I would.
It's a lifelong dream.
couldn't you still do that and play video games?
Uh, well, no, it's like in terms of like if I was gonna do that, it would be a career. Like right now, like everything that I do is geared towards building a career as a community manager, and it's like if I was gonna do
I get
that,
it.
because within Disney, that's a hard thing to do, and so I would have to dedicate like my whole life to working at Disney and working my way into that department.
I get it.
Done the homework.
What about you,
Yeah, I would-
Fox?
I think I would be more into music, either making it or being part of it or something like
Oh, what?
music community. I like music a lot, and I don't know, catching up with a lot of shows and stuff that I have like in the back burner.
I think I would just completely, aside from like being interested in games and things like that, I think I would probably focus a lot more on just general tech, aside from just being a gamer per se. I'd devote a lot more of my time about learning more of the diverse technology being released, and be kind of more on the up and up on that. I think that's what I'd probably devote most of my time to.
Techie.
Yeah, you know.
Very interesting. Honestly, I don't think of a world without gaming, so I couldn't tell you.
Aw, that's not fair. I could have said that.
You know what? Honestly, I would probably. Oh,
You'd be an artist. You'd be drawing up a storm.
yeah. Well, I kind of do that now, so.
Or
I'm a
shoot.
stay-at-home
True.
mom, so I don't really have like I don't know. Anyways, all right. So moving on to the next question we have from Slappy Happy Gamer says, "What's the best news y'all heard from Gamescom so far?" Hello, the release of the tech test demo for Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that's pretty big news for sure. Especially this weekend. Like,
Yeah, that's the best news I've heard so far.
Excited for the Battlefield 1 beta, but less excited for the fact that it starts the day I freaking leave for PAX.
oh,
Oh, ouch.
I was like, cool, August 31st.
Maybe you could play it over there.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't have a 1S yet, so I'm like, it's difficult to take it with me. We'll see.
Ooh. What about everyone else?
I guess Battlefield 1. I'm pretty into it. I don't know.
yeah,
Looks pretty
Battlefield
great.
one's good.
Setting looks great.
Yeah, Battlefield, Titanfall.
I mean, I guess if I had to pick something, it'd be the Destiny stuff.
Destiny.
But nothing is like. No, I mean, I feel like this year Gamescom's a bit of a letdown. Like last year we had the press conference, so
Yeah, so weird.
That's true.
Do you
It
think,
is day one, though.
Rand, do you think that it's
Well, there's no press conferences though, like Microsoft. They're not doing it, so.
Yeah.
do you think it's because Rand, do you think it's because it's kind of changing your outlook on the way Destiny is like how much you like Destiny, for example? Do you think that's why you think that Destiny is the most exciting part of Gamescom to you?
that's no. I just like what they're doing with the game now.
I
when
agree.
when before I didn't, and I don't know. Like I mean, on some of the stuff we've seen, it's like stuff we've seen before. Like Titanfall 2 looks like Titanfall, and Battlefield looks like Battlefield, and so it's. I mean, I guess you could say, well, Destiny looks like Destiny, which is true.
I was gonna
but-
say Destiny looks like Destiny.
I don't know. But you see, Destiny has changed over the course of its time, and that's why like I'm kind of more excited for it now than before, because I think Destiny's improved since it came out. So I'm kind of interested in playing this one. Although I just really wish there was a press conference.
That I
Could
agree with.
Had something new to talk about.
I agree. I definitely would have liked to, have press conferences, maybe talk about new IPs we haven't seen that's coming out next. There's definitely a lot that would have been interesting to see. Moving on to another question, mainly for GKB, because I know you play on a small monitor. Are you getting a large TV just for HDR?
Oh
Heck, I
man.
can answer that. No.
So like Brutal and I like spend days and hours scouring the internet for a small monitor with HDR. Like we're still
Yeah, we do.
we're still on the hunt.
Yeah.
At this point, no, I'm not ready to give up my small monitor. I love gaming on smaller monitors, especially because I'm into competitive shooters and stuff. So I like Beastfire's LG one that he got today, the 27-inch
Yeah, that
4K
shit's
one.
sexy.
So if I can't get one with HDR, I'm definitely gonna get a 27-inch 4K one.
Which really isn't that much bigger. You know, that's not like a change from your monitors now. It's not like you'd be going bigger, like a lot bigger.
No, but we'll get
I
the
don't-
4K HDR for the front room.
I don't understand why there isn't already just like a plethora of HDR capable like smaller monitors. I mean, is there something I'm missing? Like the tech is not.
Well,
I mean,
HDR is newer.
super new.
Yeah, it's newer to the TVs and stuff now. So it's been on
Yeah.
cameras forever. But
I'm surprised there isn't
Yeah.
one for the BenQ monitors. I'm actually interested in getting the BenQ monitors, and I'm
BenQ
surprised they don't
monitors
and
have that.
MLG.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like those.
yeah.
So
she
I
would
would.
be.
I like the small monitors as well, so I don't think I would do that either.
I'm
Especially
in the exact same boat with you guys. I've been scouring everywhere I can possibly look to try to find an HDR monitor. Like, I'm more excited about HDR than I am about 4K, but I just looking again in that 27,
Same.
28 monitor range, and I'm like, it just straight up doesn't exist.
HDR's a bigger jump than 4K in my opinion. Like HDR just makes games look way better than 4K does.
Yeah, they pop.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if I'm not looking for a 4K like HDR, I look for just something HDR, and I'm happy to hear that you guys have also been looking so hard and haven't found anything.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I see something, I'm gonna post it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. Is there any more questions? Has anyone else seen anything?
Oh, questions?
Yeah. Someone says, "Where do you send the?" Just post it right there in the chat. If you got a question, just post it
I
there
got
in
a
the
question
chat.
for you
And
guys.
Sure.
alrighty.
Who's going to replay Witcher 3 now that it's confirmed to have a completely new achievement list with the new save that doesn't link with your other game?
That's interesting. Completely replay it? Probably. I know you're gonna be playing it, bro.
I haven't finished the original one. I don't know.
Well, that's my point, as I haven't finished it the first time through. So.
Has anybody finished the first one? I'm just
Yep.
wondering.
No.
Yep. I'm a big fan of it, but also like I don't know how far you guys are, so I don't know how to say, but like the original game was incredibly stingy. Like I think I beat
Yes,
it
it was.
with a couple hundred hours of gameplay, and I think I walked away with like 320 gamer score. So I'm interested to see like how reworked it actually is, or are they just making the DLC achievements worth more?
It'll probably just be the achievement list plus the DLC achievements in
Right.
one single list.
Right. So yeah, look, I like The Witcher 3, but I'm not ready to sink that much time and money back into games and DLC that I already own.
Yeah. Especially you're busy.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so we got 2 more questions, and then we will end the show. The first one is, what summer spotlight game you like the most this time around? We'll just say, what summer spotlight game do you like the most?
From this year? Is that the question?
Like this round, right? Like what they've posted right now for this summer.
Oh, come back to me. I don't know yet.
Truthfully, right now, the only one I've really played is the new Layers of Fear DLC, so I guess I kind of enjoyed that one right now.
Didn't you play Overcooked, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that one's in there too. That was fun too. I guess it's all indies, so like
I feel like Microsoft doesn't give any thought into this. They just name a 5-week segment in like Summer Spotlight, and they just all the games that come out are just games that would come out regardless. Like, I mean, like they used to do Summer of Arcade. I know Sony has their own thing where there's like one big game a week. I don't know, like what notable game has come out in this whole thing? I can't think of a single
Hyperlight
Drifter.
Drifter?
Really
Yeah,
good.
that one
Hyperlight
came
Drifter is
out.
probably the best one.
Yeah,
by
But the
that's what
thing
I was
is,
gonna
none of
say.
them are, it would have been better if they were at least a little cheaper, like actually on sale. Like, I think that would have been kind of cool, but none of these are actually on sale. They're all just,
What is it? Like spend 40 and get 5 back, or what is it, something like that?
It's like spend
Isn't it?
40, get 4 back, which is, ooh, thanks, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like, I guess if you're gonna do it anyway.
Inside
yeah.
is on Spotlight.
What? Inside came out
Yeah,
E3?
they're retroactively including it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
retro.
that's like,
Well, it's like they have like
That's like-
specific
I
games.
still think
Uh,
Hyperlight Drifter is the
Yeah,
best.
but Hyperlight Drifter is still better than Inside.
Yeah,
So.
I agree.
I agree with that too.
Heck, they got
Even-
Hawken on there, and that game's free.
Rand's gonna freak
Or
out.
is it like back up to like
Rand's
push down?
fucking brain.
Rand's like, oh, I'm gonna
Okay,
kill
number
you.
one, I don't like. Look, so before they even announce the summer spotlight, you can't just go back and say it includes Inside. I'm sorry, Microsoft.
No, you can't.
So to me, it's not included. So I'll agree with that. Nobody better talk anything about Inside, or else there'll be some shit going down.
Hyperex's
Well,
is better.
then I guess we got some talking to do.
Uh
That ending, oh my god, but we're not going to get into that right now. Hey, there is a cool one, hashtag kill all zombies.
What?
Haven't played it.
There's a game, it's called hashtag
Yeah,
kill
that was a game
all
that was on
zombies.
PlayStation 2 years ago. Sucked then, sucks now.
It's
Will
just
the-
funny as a name.
Will the
Kerbal
Ti-
Space Program is my answer to the question.
Yeah,
that game's been
looks
amazing.
So much fun.
Been
yeah.
amazing on PC. Super excited to see it come to Xbox because one thing that I'm really excited to see come to that game in the future is multiplayer built in, and Xbox, already has the infrastructure on the back end to support that. And so if console is the place where they can do that, that game's gonna go from just like being fun if you want to hang out and build rockets to like when you can bring your friends in on that and you can make space stations together and you can have like a whole like actual like association. That game's gonna like go totally crazy.
Damn, he just sold me. That shit sounds
Yeah.
I
awesome.
really want to play. I really want to play that D&D Swords Coast Legends. That looks fun to me. I think that might be one of my more satisfying games of the year. That's
Here's a
kinda like
question.
up my alley.
Will Titanfall 2 servers crash this weekend?
Yes.
Yes.
All
I would
servers
say
will
most
crash.
likely yes.
I
We're
see
gonna
I
make
see
'em.
I see a lot of server crashes because there is no limitation to who can play this game. So you're going across like you're
Yeah.
gonna have Sony, you're gonna have all Xbox people, everybody's
fair,
gonna be jumping on
That's
this.
what they want you to do.
Yeah.
That's
They
what
want
this
you to
whole
break
thing
it.
is for.
But at the same time, isn't like PlayStation in different servers than we are?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
just-
but
yeah.
I just mean in
see.
general, like for how many gamers in
We're
general
gonna crash
are going
ours
to be
because of
playing.
all the people.
All
I'm
the
just
peoples.
saying Azure servers wouldn't crash.
Yeah.
Well, they got Amazon in there too. They're pretty good. I'm not...
I think that's the ones that PlayStation's using.
Definitely. But all right, so
Can
with
I-
that be what?
I was to say, can I say something on a side note? That we have a little corner of the universe out there in No Man's Sky. Actually, we have a system
yeah.
called Console Corner.
right.
And if you guys are playing that game and you
From
bump
Tim.
into it, check out my planet. It was the prettiest. I'm just saying.
I saw it, but I didn't see my planet. Tim, I want to see my planet.
All
I know
right.
you're listening right now. I
Yep.
want
We see you in the
yeah.
chat.
Yeah, shout
I
out
wanna
to
see that
Tim.
shit too,
Shout
shout
man.
out
out
boss.
to Tim for making the console corner planets and universe and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was awesome.
Again, I want a clip of my planet, please.
I'll make sure you
Definitely.
get that.
Yeah, definitely. So again, that is awesome that's there. With that being said, and of course the last question being about Titanfall 2, community game time, Saturday 9:30 p.m. Eastern time is going to be Titanfall 2.
If the servers are up.
Well, they better be
Yeah.
up.
They'll be
Yeah,
up
that
during
reason
those
number one.
hours.
They're gonna be.
They're going to be up until 9:05. And community game time will be what crashes them.
Probably.
Definitely, and for everybody, it's all Xbox Live. Get in fast. It does fill up quick, but we do try to get everybody in. So make
Well,
sure you guys check that out and have fun.
Real
so.
quick, the chat fills up quick, but we'll make as many games as we need to for however many show up.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Very true.
Thank you
Very
for
true.
correcting me on that. It is the chat fills up quick. We use the chat for streaming and stuff like that, so that's why the chat. The chat gets
Well, it only holds 16 people, and usually we have like almost 30.
that too. But anyways.
Multiple rooms
Nice.
for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We'll have multiple groups. Just DM, add us the Xbox Live, and yeah. So with that being said, I would just like to say thank you everyone who has come out and hung out with us this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Console Corner, and again, we appreciate each and every one of you. Without yous, we would not be able to do this. So thank you, and now we will go down the line of gamers so they can tell you where you could find them and stay connected with them. We will start with Wendy if he is there.
No, he's
not.
definitely not. He's
Definitely
even
not.
He is having
in the
internet
thing.
issues.
Oh, okay, sorry, I don't have that up right now. So you can find Wendy on Twitter
Wendy City
at
Gaming.
Wendy City Gaming.
And
Same with YouTube. So check him out. We'll go to our next guest, which is Rand.
Me? Okay.
No fancy.
You can find me on Twitter. It's really hard to say. It's my gamer tag with underscores underneath. Rand_L_Thor_19. I know people. You can find me Mondays on TXR Podcast, the best podcast Monday nights, but you already knew that. As well as on Xbox Nation with GKB and She-Wolf, along with Crap and Mooch. And then on Crossfire on Fridays. Don't forget to check out the giveaway I have going on personally for a HyperX Cloud X headset. I have a giveaway going on for that. One lucky winner, I'll ship it to them to their house if they win. Shipping it to anywhere except China. And then TXR, we're giving away 3 copies of Gears of War Ultimate Edition and the custom gear system. So get on that if you so desire.
And we will make sure all of us are promoting that, so you guys will be able to find it also on all of our Twitter pages to help with that.
Oh, that'll be everywhere.
I like how yesterday he was like, not 1, not 2, but 3.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was funny.
He was selling it.
Awesome. And what about you, Fox?
Well, I just want to say thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us, as always. Sorry we couldn't get more detailed into the topics. We wanted to talk more, but we had to move on to the next ones. Yeah. So, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you guys could follow me here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on Beam. I got Beam, people, so it's all Lady Foxfire.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we gotta hook you up with streaming somehow. We'll figure it out. We will figure this out. Anyways. I got completely lost there for a minute. I was thinking of something and then just thought of something. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, what about you, Asthmatic?
So you guys can always catch me right here on YouTube with the plain name Asthmatic. Stick a 117 on the end of that, and you will find me over on Twitter for all the real-time stuff going on. I do have some giveaways myself that I'm going to be spinning up. We're going to be doing some Titanfall 2, some Battlefield 1, some Gears of War 4, some ReCore, and Forza Horizon 3. There are going to be some Xbox One digital codes, so be sure to follow on Twitter to get all the details on those. And if you are specifically looking for Battlefield 1, check out the channel on Thursday night when we're going to be streaming some Battlefield 4, keeping the hype train going for Battlefield 1 and taking a look at some of the weapons that are going to be, I don't know if I want to call them new, but the different weapons, the World War I era weapons that we're going to have in Battlefield 1. We're going to take a detailed look at those. And I want to make Thursday night a big stream. I want to make it a big deal, get a lot of people excited because I want to build the hype for Battlefield 1 because that game is going to knock it out of the park.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to jump in on that.
Woo!
Definitely. What about you, Bear?
So I think I've got a lot of things in the works for the next week. But before I get into it, first of all, thank you everybody who's come and made it this far to the podcast. That's awesome. As always, you guys have great endurance. I don't know if I can do it. But in the next week, I should have articles every day. I try. But I also have a review for Bound on PS4, Day of Infamy on PC, and then supposedly I am getting a press copy for the new Deus Ex game. So the next week should be pretty busy on my site. So if anybody wants to stop by throughout the week and see what's going on, that'd be great. Thanks so much.
What's the website so people can...
Yeah, I should probably say that, huh?
Yeah.
Like I said before, bearclawgaming.com. Otherwise, you can find me at Twitter, same name. Yeah, love to have anybody stop by.
Awesome. What about you, Brutal?
Yep, Brutal Knight. You can find me on Twitter, and please, guys, come follow me on Beam. I'm gonna be really putting some time into getting some streaming going on Beam.
He's gonna be beaming.
Beaming like a motherfucker. I'm super excited for Beam. I really think I'm gonna be enjoying this entire acquisition that Microsoft has made. So come find me on Beam. Same as my tag on Twitter, same as my name here, Brutal Knight. Yeah, that's about it. I hope to see you guys online, and hope to see everybody on Community Game Time. And we also have Shot Podcast on Saturday with PTK Blam. And shout out to Jay Williams for all of my graphics and a lot of our graphics on the show.
Definitely. What about you, GKB?
What's up, everybody? It's the Governor. Yeah, you can find me Gamers Knows Best on Twitter, Gamers Knows Best on the YouTubes. Also, please come check out the Beam streams. I'll be doing that like 3 or 4 times a week now. On my road to 100K, I'm just gonna play all the games, so you can watch me get all the achievements. It's gonna be tons of fun. We were rocking out
Chivos.
on
And that's
Darksiders 2. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Them
And that's
Chivos.
GKBX on
Yeah.
Beam.
This stupid 4-letter thing. That's really ridiculous. Ridiculous.
How dare they?
Ridiculous. But yeah, super thankful for all you guys coming out. We almost hit 100 tonight. That was awesome. We really appreciate you guys. We are about the community, so we love you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. And of course, make sure you come out and check out Community Game Time on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I am She-Wolf. I was your host for the Console Corner tonight, and this was the 28th episode. I don't remember if I said it at the beginning, but that's okay. So with that being said, you can find me on Twitter at xshewulfx. It's the same as my Beam stream, so make sure you come and check that out as well. We also have the team on Beam, which is the console crew, so make sure you check that out. Also, you can find me on Xbox, and I also write articles for ICXM. I do a community article, so make sure you watch for that as well. As always, thank you everyone for hanging out and rocking out with us. We much appreciate it, and have a great night.
Take care, your fellow gamers.